cancel culture is about canceling it.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
And they believe that
Cocaína.
But it's the wax that the Terminator X spun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records ain't sell. Cause a brother like me said, well,
it's one like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which yells you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that puts against the bed. This that I got realness, I just push, cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got gunk, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
the woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stopped Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stopped Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like...
We'll see. Count. They want you to comply.
Happy Thursday, everybody. How's it going?
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Happy to see you again, Lance. We've got Ron Placone back on the show. Everybody
Hi,
say
Ron.
hello to Ron. Nice
Hello,
to have Ron
Lance.
back with us.
Hello, Mike. Good to be back on with you guys. Yeah, your guys I had so much fun with y'all the first time. I love
That was a
guys'
really fun
show.
episode.
Yeah, and I love your guys' audience. Like, you guys have such a cool, like, thoughtful audience. I really enjoyed it with you guys.
Very smart, blazing the chat right at the start of the stream. That's a good
That
play.
is very smart.
Yeah.
Well,
They are a great
now
audience,
that you
though,
called
to
it
be
out,
fair.
my cover's blown, but all right. No, I did. Seriously, like, such a fun group. I love doing your guys' show. So thanks for having me.
Yeah,
that's
thanks for coming back on anytime. So lots of stuff happened this week. Of course, all of it very bad, predictably so. Yes, I don't know where you all want to begin, because do we want to start with like the bad news or bad news?
I'm curious what
alternative?
Yeah, I want to know what the good news is.
What's the good news?
Oh, there is no good. It was just
That's the
bad and
outcome.
bad.
Okay.
That was it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm so sorry if I made you think that there was
I thought
going to
we-
be good news.
I thought we were going to talk about Afro Man for the good news. We can save that for later.
Okay. Hey, if there's good news, yeah, let's save it. We might have to get a palate cleanser, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I've been very, and you all probably noticed this if you watch my videos, I've been very doomer pilled lately. For good reason, but I try not to be overly negative. But goddamn, it's been a week, politically speaking. Personally, fine.
As someone who has been consuming your videos, I've actually enjoyed how spicy they are. Not in like
okay.
And I can specifically tell my chat suddenly it's like, oh, it's going to be like, how do they call you? It's like, not saucy Mike. There's a version for that Mike where it's like he's going to be both insightful but particularly like, just cruel at the right people. And
Mean
I like
Mike.
that. Yeah,
Spicy Mike.
No, there's something else. But either way,
Okay.
Now they're saying torch pilled. We'll say torch pilled. Sure. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. So I guess we could start with the
What qualifies torch pilled?
if you want to get a torch and burn things down. I'm not really sure.
Oh, okay. All
Maybe
right.
that would be what I take
Like
from
the fire rises, Bane kind of stuff. Yeah.
So my anger, I mean, obviously it's been a few weeks because Trump decided to invade Iran, obviously, but this week it didn't feel good to see a bunch of really good progressives get wiped out in elections in Illinois and to see some really bad outcomes. The one that was particularly jarring to me was the 8th district of Illinois, where there was an option between Junaid Ahmed, super cool, progressive, Medicare for all supporter, opposes genocide, no APAC money, And then there was Melissa Bean. She is being bankrolled by AIPAC, crypto, the AI industry, and voters were like, we want the crypto AI shill. So, I mean, that was unfortunate. And another thing about that particular race that I pointed out in my video that was really unfortunate is that Junaid wasn't the only progressive in the race. There was another really strong progressive in the race that got like 9% of the vote. And my main like thesis for the week is what if when we run for Congress next time, like if we see another leftist for like, hey, listen, if you're ahead, I'm going to back you. If I'm ahead, you back me. Because it's getting really... Things are changing, right? The dynamics of these races are changing. AIPAC isn't just saying, hey, Israel good. They're actually running ads in support of progressives to split progressive votes. That's what they did in the 9th district with Bushra Amiwala, who was one of 3 progressives, probably more, running in that race with Kat Abu-Ghazaleh. There was Mike Simmons, Bushra Amiwala, both really solid candidates, like great candidates. But there was just like too many choices, and if you're a leftist, what do you do? And they ended up splitting votes, unfortunately. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Hello.
Was
How are y'all doing?
I'm still crashing out, but good otherwise.
I think Illinois is 9th. I maybe being a Canadian and having a little bit more of a separate view, I didn't take Kat's loss as badly as a lot of people online in the US were taking it. I saw what she pretty historic regardless of what the outcome was, and I agree with you. I think that she could have easily had won had there been a decision for a lot of the other progressive candidates to consolidate around her, similar to how that's done in other elections, by the way. When there's multiple candidates but there's an obvious clear choice and a victory that's possible, you consolidate to be able to beat the AIPAC backed center right corporate centrist candidate. So I thought she did an incredible job in that, and really showed a blueprint in that she was a virtually unknown figure in politics prior to this, and came as close as she did within, like, again, it's an arm's throw in terms of elections for having to win that. She would have won if those other candidates had dropped out. So rather than, I think, taking her model as a loss, it was like a decided this could have been a victory in the same way that, some of these some of these moments that come so close and then all of a sudden they fall apart, or you have the greatest upset in mayoral history in New York as a result of people consolidating their campaigns, right? Because that's what happened with Zoran. When you have Brad Lander, you have other people who actually start to work together and say, I'm going to back this campaign now because this person has the best shot to beat, say, Cuomo or whoever it is. In the case of Kat, I that was kind of my takeaway from it, more than I was like, this was just another AIPAC beats whoever they want. I think AIPAC spent and did everything they could, and the only reason they won is the left vote was split. So the left, there was more people who wanted leftism there than there was people who didn't.
True. That's a great takeaway. I think that that's something that is worth bringing up, because I didn't really emphasize this. Yeah, it's not that Kat did poorly. She did really well. I mean, an unknown becoming a national phenomenon with, these articles that she was getting written about her. I think that is really encouraging to see. It just, for me, it almost hurts more that it was so close, right? I think that's kind of what is sticking in my side, where it's like she was within the margin of error. And the same is true for Nida Alam from like a month or so ago, right? Where she was like a percentage away. And I guess the reason why it hurts so bad is because I'm tired of like moral victories. I don't want to just look at a situation and think, hey, we came so close, but it's a sign that we're moving ahead. Like, I want to actually win. Yeah, and that's the thing that I'm trying to adapt to, because electoralism as a leftist, you're never going to be like, crushing it, right? I mean, we were kind of high in our own supply, but it just is, it hurts a little bit. Welcome, David. Nice to see you, man.
Hey, I didn't know I walked into the episode of the Jimmy Dore Show. What's up?
The shit libs are at it again, David. We got to talk about it.
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
What's up, David? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods soon, actually.
Oh yeah, Canada?
I'm gonna be in Toronto.
Really? For what?
For leisure.
Oh, nice.
Maybe, yeah.
Nice.
It's a great place. You'll enjoy.
Well, I've been. My wife's never been. It'll be her first time. So yeah, we're excited.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like how he said he'll be in your neck of the woods, David, and you just said Canada, like the entire country.
All of Canada.
That's how most Americans
It's
treat
just David's
us.
spot.
So I just figured it was like it could have been like Vancouver.
No, man, I know your city. I know it's Toronto. I'm not.
Oh, good. You're better than most.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, I interrupted the conversation. What was
How
happening?
dare you, David? How dare you? I was crashing out.
No, they were just
and you
talking.
stopped
I
me from
interrupted
crashing
too
out.
shortly before you.
I
No, they were talking
agree.
about the election results. It's disappointing, but it's I feel like I don't know. I feel like we had a few wins in a row, obviously, but it's also something that we're kind of used to, where primaries don't go our way all the time. But I think like you guys, like Mike was mentioning, and no, what Lance was mentioning, I think there are asterisks here that it shouldn't be as disappointing feeling, being that there were multiple candidates splitting votes, and I feel like there were some other issues at hand, and I think they did pretty well. I think Kat did really well, honestly.
One thing that I also want to spotlight is that the leftist orgs and electeds were just all over the place. You had a lot of progressives like Jayapal, Greg Kasar endorsing Daniel Biss, and then you had nobody endorsing Abu Ghazaleh, aside from I think Ro Khanna. Bernie and AOC were completely MIA, although Bernie did endorse.
I think Ilhan
Right, that's
Omar
true. That
came
is
out
true.
the day before. And endorsed.
Good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. It was like the day before. It would have been nice if it was earlier, but nonetheless, that was still great. Probably gave her a boost. Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. And then DSA did not endorse. I'm not sure if Kat sought out their endorsement. I'm not really sure how that process works from the candidate perspective.
The Hulk endorsed Mark
That's
Ruffalo?
true. That's good. That's good to That's good to see as well.
I think what she was working against, and the results are to me. I mean, obviously it would have been great if she won, but the results are incredible still to see how many people voted for her. She came in a strong second, very close to winning. I honestly think, and I know this is not what she is, because she's more than just this word I'm about to say, but I think the baggage of being seen as an influencer is something she had to overcome. And I feel like a lot of people, not a lot of people, obviously, because she got a lot of votes, but the margin of victory was in the number of people who maybe didn't think she was, serious because she was an influencer. And that's just what that word has. People think influencer, they think internet person just doing their thing for.
Ash Patel is the director of the FBI.
And that's not what she is. And that's not what she is.
Just do anything
And that's
now.
not what she is. I want to be clear. That's not what she is, but that's how she was pegged in the media. That's how she was explained everywhere. When people were like, "Oh, when they said, "Oh, Kat, she's the one who's the social media influencer." And I feel like, honestly, if she was to run again, I feel like, and I don't know if she is, I feel like she would come from a much stronger place, because she's developed this base now, and then she would just be working on convincing those few extra thousands of people that, hey, I'm back, and clearly I'm taking this seriously, and this is what I've done since. That's my take.
Yeah,
that's fair. That I was really inspired by what Mamdani pulled off in New York, more so than just, oh, he won. But it was so cool to see, like there really was this big inside outside approach. I mean, you had a ton of orgs that were just behind this guy that just wanted to see him become mayor. You had new organizations that sprouted up because of Mamdani that were just, meant for that election, that have just like spawned into different things and are still going. It was beautiful to see. And they all had this common goal. He had a platform that was solid and attainable, and he's getting stuff done. I mean, I think that if we could figure out how to duplicate that at the federal level and also everywhere else too, that'd be pretty awesome. And I'm looking around, especially here in LA. I'm just like, how do we do this in LA? Like look what they did in New York. That's what needs to happen here in LA. So that, to me, electorally, I feel like that's that's sort of the blueprint to kind of duplicate what that campaign did. And I think some of it is capturing lightning in a bottle. But if you have the right ingredients in place, well, there's a better chance you'll capture that lightning.
Yeah, the solidarity
Right.
is what I
You
think made a
just
huge
reminded me of-
difference.
Right. You should, Ron. You reminded me of something I saw earlier about this. I couldn't have this take at first because, quite frankly, I wasn't following the race as closely to be able to have this take. But I saw someone say that Kat focused more on foreign policy than economic policy or something, and I feel like. If that's true, again, I can't have this take personally, but if that's true, I do think a lot of people on the left and seem to overestimate just how much the common voter thinks about foreign policy. And that doesn't mean you can't have good foreign policy, but that shouldn't be the focus of your campaign when most people just care about, what is it called kitchen table issues?
Yeah.
Again, you can have your foreign policy opinions and you should be proud of them and share them. But the focus, the thing you spend the most time on should be on domestic policy, like economics and the price
to be
of
fair, I don't think that's
food.
what she was spending the majority of her time on. I think that's what a lot of clips that were circulating and then the discourse for the final week before the campaign were focused on. In terms of her actual campaign, she was way more focused on domestic issues, specifically around ICE.
Yeah.
It was a lot more.
That's why I said I couldn't. I just saw that. I wasn't following the race close enough to know if that was the truth. But if that was, I feel like, because that's what Mamdani did, right? His entire focus was always on everyday life for New Yorkers. And no matter how much they tried to get him off of that, that's what he went back to. Like when issue of his takes on Israel and Palestine came up, he never backed away from how he felt, but he always managed to bring it back to New Yorkers. I mean, that clip, I still think this is people underestimate how much this helped Mamdani with the average voter who might have been unfamiliar with him. That clip from the debate where they asked all the candidates what would be the first place they'd visit, and everyone one by one was saying Israel. And Mamdani comes out and says, I would stay in New York and focus on New Yorkers. And they tried to needle at him, and he would not shy away from why, but he constantly brought it back to the needs of everyday New Yorkers. I saw that clip shared so many times by so many different people from all over the political spectrum. There's no way that clip didn't resonate with people who might have been unfamiliar with him before that. I think that was a huge moment, and I think it should be a lesson to every single candidate who runs. That should be it, not the social media stuff. That sort of media training and focusing on specific issues. It was. I think that moment was insanely legendary.
Another takeaway, though, from that race is Brad Lander, Michael Blake, Mamdani, they all got together and they co-endorsed. And yes, that's a different, electoral system. They have ranked choice voting. But I think that going forward, any progressive who gets in a race where there's another progressive, they need to make an agreement with that other progressive and say, hey, a month out from the election, we're going to have both of our polls. Let's compare contrast. Whoever is in the lead, we're going to drop out and we're going to campaign for that person. Because it's just not worth splitting the votes, especially when we're coming so close. Like, again, Nida Alam, 1% away. Kat Abu-Ghazala, 3.3 points away. It's so close that if you have that solidarity, it could put them over the edge. And, I'm tired of just, getting close, but not actually winning. I want to actually win. And it also really reinforces the need for ranked choice voting. Ron has been beating the drum on this for years, same myself. The thing about that is, even though it is just a given, we all want ranked choice voting. I want to show you all what happened in November in Oregon when we finally got ranked choice voting on the ballot. It was a huge gut punch because it got wiped out. The no was 57.7%. So this is something that is a hard sell, not because people don't like ranked choice voting, but because they don't understand what it is. And
so what was the propaganda against it in Oregon? Because I can speak some to California, but I'm curious, like what were some of the sells against it in Oregon?
So I never got a single mailer against it.
Really?
I don't know if I got a mailer for it. All I heard was positive things, but this was just like from buzz and like local orgs and like Facebook groups for people in Oregon who would talk about this stuff. And so I think really what it comes down to, and others who followed it more closely can correct me, who are from Oregon, I think it was just too confusing for people. That's one thing that I did see in like the more normie areas of Facebook when I waded into it in Oregon politics, just to see like what the perception was. It was that they didn't understand what that meant. 10 years prior to that, we had a vote for jungle primaries in Oregon as well. And that got voted down as well. And even I voted against it at the time. I was a lib at the time. But I was really worried that it would lead to like 2 Republicans on the ballot. It's Oregon, so that's not going to happen. And it probably would have been beneficial at the time, but I was just very worried that that was going to be, something that would end up blowing up in our faces. So it's one of those things where you have to always assume that if voters don't know enough about something, they're going to just they're going to back the default status quo. Okay, you know what? We'll keep things as is because I don't know enough about this. And I think that that's probably what was the case with ranked choice voting. So there's a lot of work to do regarding education on ranked choice voting. But if we don't have ranked choice voting, or until we get that, then we have to make sure that leftists have solidarity. And if you are running with other leftists who have a pretty similar platform, you got to agree one of you's got to drop the fuck out. I don't care which one. It's not personal. It's just about the movement. You've got to put your ego aside. And I understand, like, it's not just easy to drop out. I get what these candidates go through. They spend months with their staff, knocking on countless doors. It's difficult to just give that all up for somebody else. But you have to understand that it's not just about you and your team. This is about the bigger picture. At the end of the day, do we want Medicare for all? Do we want to stop supporting Israel and genocide? If so, you have to make these sacrifices. It's not going to be easy, but you have to do that.
I actually disagree in terms of it being difficult. I mean, maybe in the scenario where there's 2 or more progressive candidates that are truly neck and neck and no one's quite sure who is the better candidate. But we're looking at these results and it's crystal clear that Kat was the only one anywhere near with a chance to win. Like, to not drop out and just siphon away a couple thousand votes. You knew you weren't going to win. I don't care who, I don't know who I'm talking about, quite frankly. It could be one candidate, it could be multiple candidates. I didn't follow the race close enough to know. I just know that it was a 2-person race and no other leftist or left-leaning or progressive candidate was anywhere near close to even touching Kat's vote total. So to just, to not drop out, there's no place for you here. Yeah. Quite frankly, there's no place for you here. You did it for yourself and that's it. There's no, you won't have any future in politics because there will be no base for you, because anyone who does this, quite frankly, shouldn't get any support in the future. It's that simple.
You have to wonder, like, who's in their ear telling them to stay in the race when they have no chance at all.
Like if the result was, what was that?
Who's in their ear? I think in most cases it's their ego. I think it, and I'm not trying to like be judgmental of like strangers or whatever, because I'm not familiar with the other candidates either. But I've seen situations where there was, even at the city council level, there were a couple progressives in the race, and at first it was like, okay, we're going to see how the voters respond, and then one will endorse the other. And what ended up happening is the one person didn't endorse the other. Instead, they endorsed, like the main kind of more establishment candidate because they were promised a job. And then they got that job, and then they got laid off from said job. And now their political career is probably over. So, electoral politics is just like such a dirty river. Yeah. And I think that, I still remember when we had 3 lefties in the Senate primary here in California. And there was no communication. There was no... And it was like so awkward because like you knew all of them and you liked all of them, and you're just like, have you guys talk to each other? Should we maybe have a plan here? Because otherwise, it's gonna be not great. And then it was for sure not great. Because we have those jungle primaries, which I do prefer over just the regular thing. But it's got its own set of issues. So I mean, yeah, there's got to be some kind of more cohesive strategy here. But
we have to learn how to play politics.
And
we
again,
have to learn how to play politics.
But again, to be clear, like if one lefty candidate got 25,000 votes and another lefty candidate got 20,000 votes, I get it. It was close. You didn't know who was gonna win. I get it. I would understand. It would suck that split the vote, but you had two very close, viable candidates duking it out, and I wouldn't have held it against either of them. But when you got one candidate who's got 25,000 votes and the other one's got 3,000 or 4,000, you knew you weren't going to fucking win way before the election. You should have dropped out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And well, the thing that really made it hurt more is that there was a poll a few days before the election in Illinois' 9th, and it showed that Kat was actually in second place. She was polling in third consistently. She had momentum. She was in second, just behind Biss, and Laura Fine was in third. And then the other progressive, Bushra, was polling in fifth, and she released a video basically defiant, like, joking about like not dropping out. Like the way she started it was like, well, after a difficult conversation with my staff, we've decided I'm not going anywhere. It's like, okay, well, it turns out that poll was correct. She actually acknowledged this after the fact and apologized. But like, you have to understand that kind of shit right there is going to make you like, nobody's going to want to vote for you again. And I understand the arguments from people that like, hey, both her and Mike Simmons, they had closer ties to the community. They were already elected officials, but it doesn't matter because they didn't have the support. Like the poll showed otherwise. And either way, Kat was ahead. And again, it's not personal. If it were Bushra ahead, I'd be like, she needs to drop the fuck out. Like, I don't care about the individual. It's the policies, right? And if they're close enough in policy, then there has to be solidarity. Otherwise, we are never going to fucking win. Like, Jesus Christ. I feel like this isn't hard, right? It's basic math.
To show just how much this isn't about personalities, there was an actual race where someone... I don't know if you guys are friendly with her, but I was friendly with her, and she was a friend of the majority port. She was on there regularly. Nomiki Konst jumped into a race after there was already a DSA candidate, and there was a real worry she was going to split the votes, and the establishment candidate or the Democratic Party candidate, forget exactly what type of candidate they were, but the non-lefty candidate could have won. That was the concern. And people who were friends with her, who've been on shows with her, told her to drop out. And to her credit, she did. I mean, she stayed in a little bit longer than I think a lot of people wanted her to. But she also didn't stay in close to the race. She dropped out.
She endorsed the candidate who was going to win, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
she endorsed and she won.
The DSA candidate as well, and she won.
Yeah.
So full credit to Nomiki. She did the right thing. But just to show you that this isn't personality or someone we're friends with. Yeah.
Wasn't that what caused her to leave the Majority Report? Like, didn't she do the announcement on your show and then
I think she did that without and no one knew about. Again, I wasn't involved in these.
Sam had already endorsed the DSA candidate by that point, right? It was
something like I don't remember. I
don't think they knew anyone else was in the race yet. Like they didn't. I don't think they realized that.
The race. It was very early in the race.
Yeah, it was
the
early
DSA
race.
already knew who they were running, but it was so early in the race that unless you were like paying attention to like the intra things going on at the DSA, you had no idea. Maybe I wasn't there when she did this. I wasn't involved in any of the. I was well after I became just a Thursday guest on the show. But yeah, and so it sort of caused a rift and everything. A rift, I should say. But she did the right thing, and I'm just using that as an example to show that this isn't because we're friends with someone.
That's a great example. I said the same thing. I said she should drop out. Like she's a great candidate, but like very clearly, the other candidate was going to win. I'm blanking on her name, but she was phenomenal, and she did end up winning, which is nice. And Miki did the right thing. So yeah, it isn't personal. It's just for the greater good. It's not a personality contest. It's about policy. That's what it is.
I'm not sure what happened in Kat's race, but would it have been like? Do you think it's maybe on the leader to go to the people that are losing to maybe be like, hey, like let's work together, like I know
Oh,
it's kind of awkward to
Sharon-
ask someone to drop out because you're leading them like by a lot.
It feels
but, like,
entitled, right? That's why I think
yeah,
Kat didn't want to
but
do that.
at the same time, like if you're going to play the game, then offer them a job or like offer them something
Right.
within,
Exactly.
if you win.
I do think you hear about that more often in races where they're already established politicians, so they already know. And like, if you're already got political office, you do have, or previously held political office, you have some background to go over and say, listen, you're not going to win. I am, or I have a chance to win. Let's do this. So for someone who's never held political office to go and say that,
to go to somebody who has.
So basically, what you're saying is the people who know how to win do this. Maybe we
It's
should
true,
do-
yeah, it's true. But that's
the
why you
people who
usually
win a
see it
lot,
on-
they do this thing.
But that's why you usually see it
Yeah.
in like bigger races, right? Like for example, the presidential race, when someone would go over to like like Bernie and be like, Bernie, you're not going to win, endorse so we could. And Bernie also knows the game and goes, yes, I'm going to endorse you guys. That seems more in line than you being someone who's in politics, at least a nobody, and be like, hey, I'm going to win. You should drop out, right?
I mean, this is also a sticking point for a lot of leftists because we're all still traumatized from 2016, where Hillary was like swinging her big dick around, like I am the anointed one. Everybody drop out, and so like nobody wants to be like that. And Kat, to her credit, was like, Kat was like, I don't. Yeah. No, but on
because he was always going to endorse her, and for everyone to make such a big deal about him not endorsing her that early was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was always crystal clear he was going to do the strategically sound thing for someone who didn't want Trump to win, but he just wanted to take it to where he wanted to take it, which still gave plenty of time for the general election. And they shot themselves in the foot by alienating his base by making a big deal about a couple of weeks when they were still multiple months out from the general election.
Yeah, and during those couple of months, he did more events for her than she did for herself.
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's
they
true.
still were like,
I
And
forgot
they're
about
still
that.
blaming him for her loss, even though he did more work for her.
And then they attacked him 4 years later because he was taking private jets to campaign for her. Like, bro, what do you want? God, yeah. To Kat, what she said, I think it was in an interview with, was it Hassan? No, I think it was Mike from PA, where she was talking to him about, listen, there are other progressives in the race. We haven't coordinated, but I'm not entitled. I still have to earn those votes. This is a democracy. Everybody can run. And that is really commendable. But I think that, David, to your point, yeah, we all have to get a little bit more ruthlessly pragmatic, to use a word that makes me cringe.
A little more cutthroat.
Yeah, like offer them jobs. And here's the thing, it's not just like a zero-sum game, right? We see with Brad Lander and Zoran Mamdani. They co-endorsed, and now Mamdani has endorsed Brad Lander for a different office. Like, it's not just, hey, drop out, you're done. It's let me get into office, and rather than closing the door behind me, pulling the ladder up, I'll open the door for you. Like, this is what it's supposed to be about. But there's just no solidarity, and everybody in these, like, whenever there's so many leftists running in these campaigns, they're just like these little isolated things, and there's just no communication, and it's proving to be disastrous. Like twice in the same night on Tuesday, which was really devastating, and why I've been crashing out all week, because it's just like we were so close. To Lance's point again, like she was so close, so that's awesome. But I just like, I don't know. I was about to give up on electoral politics, and then Mamdani won, and then Mejia won. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get fully blackpilled. And then we keep getting kicked again. Nida Alam, Junaid Ahmed, Kat Abu-Ghazaleh. I'm like, okay, you know what? Back to revolution then. All right, get the pitchforks. Fuck electoral politics. Like, yeah, no. It's draining. It's not new. It's just, it's disappointing, because I feel like it's not just about like this race, and I made a tweet about this, but it really doesn't bode well for 2028. Not that like I even give a shit about 2028 this far out, but if voters, at least going back to the 9th district in particular, if voters had the choice between a progressive who wants to give them all healthcare and education and a progressive who's funded by AIPAC, AI, and the crypto lobby, and they're like, bet we want that one, I mean, they're going to vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028. Like, they're just, the Democratic Party voters, like cattle, are going to flock to some dumbass corporatist if the mainstream media does what it always does and says, oh, you know what, that person's more electable. So it like, even though I was feeling really optimistic about these normie libs at town halls berating Democrats and, just in general, like meeting people at like sign making events who are just getting kind of politically awakened and being more radicalized. And I'm thinking, oh my God, yeah, maybe this is the moment where we can really get more, progressives. They're disaffected with the Democratic Party status quo. Now's the time. But after seeing this, it's like, nah, Democratic Party voters are just going to do the dumbass shit again. Like, I'm not going to get my hopes up about them. I have no hope. Because I don't know.
No, I'm a little encouraged by what I've been just seeing and hearing on the ground, because I'm hearing people say stuff, stuff that like shows like this have been saying for like 8 years now, but now kind of like normie voters and stuff like that, they're saying this too, like, hey, the centrism crap isn't going to cut it anymore. And a lot of people, I mean, obviously we all know this, like a lot of people in the United States, they're registered Democrat because Democrat, Republican, and usually register with one of those two. And so I think it's just so clear that the establishment has completely lost its base at this point, and people are just really fed up. So I am encouraged by that. Where I get a little discouraged is putting it gently, but where I kind of find frustration in the electoral sense is, and I'd love feedback from y'all on this, like what you see. It's like, for every email that I've gotten over the past like 10 years or so of people running for office, and hey, I'm glad lefties are trying, of course, but man, for every 10 people running for Congress or Senate, I really wish there was like maybe 3 or 4 running for city council, running for mayor, running for school board. It's just like, it's federal. Meanwhile, it's like, building power is local AF. Like that's where it freaking starts. And that's where, and I'm just like, run for city council.
I'll piggyback off that. I got a communist elected to our city council, or helped get him elected to our city council. He was a dishwasher, and now he's like on a city council that's otherwise run by cops and crypto bros. Like the city council of Vancouver is just unbelievably corrupt and hilarious, and it's a separate story for its own day. But getting organized locally and then seeing the strategies that work, like with Sean, it was a lot of like, we need to reach out to tenants unions. We need to talk to people who are renting, because it's a city of renters. There's way more renters than there's landlords. We can beat these like corporate backed institutions, and we ended up getting the most votes of any other party, including beating out like the billionaire backed ones. So you can do it on a local level, and like people have been doing it across the board. You just don't hear about those stories because like they're not sexy, right? They're not as interesting as talking about presidents or Congress or Senate or stuff. But your city budget is what determines your police budget. Like it's massive. People don't realize for your everyday, like, 9 to 5, like affecting how the things around you change. Our libraries almost got closed down. It was bringing this communist onto our city council that got our library hours to stay extended. They almost shut them down, but he did that. So you see tangible change in the community, including that kind of stuff that like affecting your police budget is massive, right? And how the police force is directed. You can like move that into like what I think in Dallas, Texas, they have the STARS program where they divert a certain amount of the police budget into 911 calls that are going to go directly to counselors, to social workers, people who are going to know how to deal directly with people who actually have mental health issues and stuff. That's just the pilot program that was so successful they can't shut it down, because now in that area they're like, no, this helps, this is good, right? I think, like, to your point, normies are way more radicalized than the centrist establishment Democratic Party is right now. Like, if you even on Blue Sky, that everyone says is so lived out, they're talking about burning down the pedophiles and the fire of the revolution. Okay, so like in terms of like what is going on online versus like the think piece, like Wall Street Journal today was like Hassan Piker, what was it, is like anti-Semitic and the wrong look for the Democratic Party. That's so out of touch with how far things have gone at this point, right? Like everyone is just like, I'm tired of the dead children and the bombs and seeing all this shit every day. Like I don't care about that kind of stuff. So they're totally out of touch. They need to stop reading Atlantic articles about trans people bringing back race and IQ or some shit, and start like actually spending time working on ground game. I think that's really important.
Do y'all find it humorous when people complain about Blue Sky on Twitter? Like, does that just
Or vice
do it
versa.
for anybody else? Like, just like, no, those liberals could be kind of annoying, so I'll take my Nazis and porn bots, please. Like, okay.
Yeah, it is an incredible glass house. Like it's Twitter is the absolute worst. Like,
Yeah.
So bad. I don't read comments. I can't anymore.
No, it's the worst shit ever. And there are people, I don't know if this might have been YouTube, but I saw a comment that blew my mind. It's like, Mike the Zionist, like they call me a Zionist. I'm like, motherfucker, you are like, out of 1,000 comments accusing me of anti-Semitism, you are the only one calling me the Zionist. Like it was the great Zion or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? A Zionist grifter or something. Twitter is so unhinged.
There are a lot of bots on there. Like there was let me find this tweet. There was an account that got a lot of attraction this week because they said something ridiculous, and that Derek guy, the fashion dude, he basically pointed out how this account has like 400,000 tweets over the past 5 years. He averaged it out to say this person essentially had to tweet like 18 times an hour every single day for 5 years. Like this is not a real person. This is a bot. Like Twitter are full of these bots that are just constantly posting, regurgitating this mega garbage over and over again. You check their account; their accounts are ridiculous. They got the flags and their image is obviously AI. Like there's so many of these accounts that have completely flooded Twitter that I've locked my replies. Like if I'm going to be on there, I'm going to not engage in the comments because most of the replies I can't even guarantee it's a real person.
That is smart because it's like you might as well just cater to the community that's left.
Yeah. Like I'm there to say what I want to say. I don't need to hear the Nazis come back at me. Like it's not worth it.
And there's always
I'm not going to give them more
Nazis.
room to talk.
Yeah,
there's always Nazis. Every reply.
Yeah,
there's Nazis, and I'm only there too because like it's one of the last places people in a lot of like the most fucked up parts of the world that we're fucking up, by the way, still are posting and are able to post news. Like they haven't been able to migrate over to Blue Sky or Threads or anything. Like there's a lot of people, especially journalists, who are still just posting video that you can only see there, and that's like the most horrifying part. Is it's the Nazi app, it's owned by the Nazis, it's filled with Nazis, but there's also people in other parts of the world who have no other way to communicate what's going on to them from us.
Yeah, a lot of Palestinian content creators, like who are from Gaza, are still posting on Twitter. Also, people in Lebanon as well. So if you give that up, you're giving up quite a bit of information. So it's tough. But there is the Nazi problem, which is indeed quite the problem.
A lot of Nazis.
Yeah. Speaking of Nazis, I'm not sure if you all wanted to pivot to the other news story of the month, which is President Neck Pussy's war in Iran, which is both illegal and offensive.
I was wondering where you were going with this. It was like this could go in so many directions.
Speaking of Nazis,
I like to keep
isn't that crazy
toes.
that could refer to most of the shit that's going on.
Yeah,
like most of the U.S. administration, most of the Israeli administration. Like, there's there's a lot of Nazis out there.
There is indeed, which President Trump is indeed a Nazi. So basically, I don't know if you all saw yesterday, he put out this long ass post on Truth. Well, not as long as usual, but anyways, he put out a post saying there will be no more attacks from Israel because they had bombed the big oil field on Pars Island. And after that, Iran had retaliated by bombing 3. And one of them was...
Silence, Matt. He's gone.
He didn't like that I was offending. I called Trump President Neck Pussy. He thinks that neck pussies are to be sacred.
Don't offend Israel. No, I'll be back. Carry on offending Israel, by the way.
Okay. Fuck Israel.
I'm glad for that clarity. That was good.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, he was trying to lie and say that Israel did this without the support of the U.S. when there were reports that, of course, they did let the United States know they were indeed going to do that. And now Trump is panicking because presumably the Qataris are like, what the fuck? Like, why are we catching strays here? You're supposed to defend us. We gave you that jet. So, and that I think, and this is speculation, I don't know, it's conjecture because we don't know half the shit that's going on because they lie about every single thing. I think that the pressure from Qataris is what really pissed him off. Today, there was the Qatari, I think it was the president, who was saying the only people that benefit from this, it's Tel Aviv, right? So I think that that's them maybe trying to be a counterbalance to Israel because they don't have the capacity to defend themselves like Israel does. And Israel's taken an ass whooping, right? But Qatar and like a lot of these Gulf countries, they rely on the United States. But there are U.S. military bases in these Gulf countries, and Iran is attacking them because that's where they're launching the missiles. So this whole alliance with Gulf countries relies on the United States protecting them, and they're failing. Like, they're getting their cheeks clapped in the fucking UAE, which is all just like, you know, a lot of Americans and just like rich people go there and whatnot. It's no longer safe. So that economic situation is dubious. And then when you see that Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, they're talking about having to shore up their own defenses, which means they have to withdraw a lot of investments that they have in US tech, AI companies and whatnot. I mean, that means our AI bubble could go tits up because Donald Trump wanted to attack Iran. And now, on top of that, he's saying that, you know, after this Iran thing is over, he's going to go into Cuba. He could take Cuba if he wanted to and do whatever he wants. So it's just one country after another, after another, after another. And I feel like it's gonna keep getting worse before it gets better because there's no way we come out of this unscathed. Even if he like pulls out of Iran tomorrow, the Strait of Hormuz situation is going to create massive, massive economic damage to us. And I hate talking about war in terms of like the economic damage to Americans when children are being bombed, but like that's the only way you get through to Americans is let them know that like, hey, this affects you too, albeit to a much lesser extent, but it still affects you nonetheless. But then if he goes and he takes... Yeah. I mean, you saw the video from the lady. I did a video about this today where she was like, a reporter from MS Now asked her, what would you say to the president if he could hear you? She said, he's a worthless piece of shit. And then he's like, you voted for him? She's like, 3 times because apparently I'm an idiot. And she was at the pump. So it's like she sees, oh, okay, I can't blame Biden for this. This is something that he did because he attacked Iran. And this is one of the closest, like, you draw a line from the president to the gas prices because presidents always get blamed when the gas prices go up, always. But like this is a massive spike. And
this one you actually can blame on the president.
Yes.
You can't always actually blame it. This one actually you can.
Yeah, 90% of the time they have nothing to do with it, and it's just like a talking point. But yeah, this time is one of the exceptions where it's like, no, he did do this.
Yes.
Yeah, no denying it. No blaming anybody but him.
Did you see that report that apparently they're going to be sending 2,500 ground troops to the island, like just outside
Karg Island?
Yeah, Karg Island, specifically to hold it as like a permanent installation for his military operations. And I was like, that's going to be a meat grinder for a while, though, right?
That's a suicide mission.
Yeah, because there's like, I don't think people realize the unbelievable surplus of cheap drones that Iran has. Like the amount of Chinese tech that they've acquired over the last couple of years, they've been preparing for this. And it's so much cheaper to send these drones out to take out not only like humans, but like expensive materials, like things that y'all are spending billions and billions and billions of dollars. They can be like, boom, drone gone. Like just like that.
Yeah. We boast about how we have the biggest military in the world. We had to copy their Shahad drones because
I saw that.
They can make them so fucking quick.
Yeah,
they're efficient, they're accurate, they're fast. So we were like, okay, fuck, what do we do? Let's just copy their fucking technology. It's crazy. And our shit is so much more expensive. Like what I just found this out today, it blew my mind. A single Tomahawk missile is more than $3 million. A single one. And that's what they dropped on that school. So our equipment is deadly, but it is very expensive and it takes time to make, which is why I think that they're trying to use the Defense Production Act to speed up the manufacturing of these things. But they just, it kind of goes to show you that they weren't ready. There are also reports that Israel had not replenished their stockpiles since the 12-day war last year, which is just crazy because like Israel was the ones that goaded the United States into this war, but they weren't ready. Like it's just, they thought that if they could get Daddy US on their side, it would be okay. But I mean, look, Iran is clapping our fucking cheeks, and I don't think a lot of people expected that. But even if you take away the military aspect, just with them controlling the Strait of Hormuz, that alone gave them so much leverage, which is why so many other, warmongers, I almost said whoremongers, warmongers in the past, like Bush, didn't invade because, you fuck with the Strait of Hormuz, you're fucking with the world economy. And Trump was the only one stupid enough to do it. Even John Bolton, which is fucking hilarious. He's like he's wanted to invade Iran for decades. And, he was talking about, we're going to celebrate in Iran by 2020. He's like, I don't know about the way that he's going about this, because he just, it's like a 12-year-old. It's crazy. Like, if this were a movie, it'd be a hilarious comedy. But it's real life and people are actually dying, and Trump is the dumbest fucking person ever. Today, I don't know if you all saw this. This is unrelated, but he was talking with the Japanese prime minister, and the dude brought up Pearl Harbor out of nowhere. When they asked a legitimate question, they were like, why didn't you tell allies that you were going to invade Iran? Which, that's something that you do. Like, that's just, there's nothing political about that. You tell your allies when you're going to do some crazy shit. And he's like, well, we know Japan likes surprises, Pearl Harbor. Why didn't they tell me about Pearl Harbor? It's like, my brother in Christ.
I saw the caption. I couldn't bring myself to watch the clip. It sounded so embarrassing. Just like, I can't even watch Trump say this because it's too embarrassing for me to watch secondhandedly.
That's our president. Just
it's incredible.
Well, and the worst part too is this is, you talk about John Bolton going back decades. This is the war Trump wanted his first term. He wanted his war with Iran the first time. The pandemic put a halt to that. And so he's going after it now. And this should come as a surprise to absolutely nobody. And to everybody who sold the absolute fucking bullshit that, well, Trump's going to be a peace president. He had 4 years to prove that, and he showed you his entire ass. He showed you his entire ass when he dropped more bombs than Obama did during Obama's first term, when he wanted his war with Iran, but the pandemic didn't give it to him, when he was called presidential, when he dropped bombs on Syria. He showed you his ass a long freaking time ago, and now, now the chickens have come to roost. The big difference this time is you have the barbaric fascism in the streets with ICE.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I learned on the Theo Vaughn podcast that they made a little mistakey okie dokie, that everything's going to be okay now, right? Isn't that what Andrew Schultz is saying? And all the podcast bros now, they all have buyer's remorse. They're all just like, who could have seen this coming? The guy who quoted Hitler is acting like Hitler. Fucking crazy.
It's, occasionally people will ask me about that, the Saudi Arabia comedy festival that happened, and I forget the name, but the Riyadh or something, or what was it called?
Oh, the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Riyadh. People will ask me about it. They're like, does it surprise you that people in your industry just participated in that? I'm like, you mean the same people that helped usher in fascism at home? Does it surprise me that they did? No, doesn't freaking surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Since when we're like, I mean, not saying that there aren't good comedians, but since when were comedians like the bastions of like standing up for like human rights, like that? International. Like, do people expect anything more? Like, of course, there are people out there that are
yeah, I
do
mean, well, especially now with this rise with this new like alt-right hip, Rogan sphere bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's Behind the Bastards did a 3-part series of the history of all that, and I learned stuff that I didn't know. But there's actually, sadly, there has been a long-standing history of like fascism and stand-up, and it can be traced back to this guy. His name was like Fay or something like that. He was one of the early pioneers of what we now know as stand-up comedy and American stand-up comedy, and he was a card-carrying fascist. So, there's always been this,
that
like,
sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of not great.
I'm a huge stand-up comedian. Like, I follow the greats. I watch contemporaries. I like to find new ones, and like I watch, I go down stand-up comedy rabbit holes on YouTube. So that's too bad.
Hey man, I love it too. It's but unfortunately,
history's history.
That history is there, and it's kind of like we kind of got to own it. And these days, it's like the creative class has been so crushed just around the world and especially in the United States that it's like the only people coming to LA to give it a shot now are like trust fund kids and stuff. So it's like it's a weird time. It's a weird time.
Ron, have you been keeping up with the Vanguard's coverage of Bill Burr's downfall?
No, I have not.
Speaking of the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
Have you been following Bill Burr's downfall, or at least his like weird knee-jerk reaction?
It'd be cool to, I want to pick your brain on this because he's one that actually did surprise me.
Well, it's interesting to me that he took the flack for it, and it's because I'm not like giving him an out or anything, but it was fascinating to me that it's like he took the most heat, and it was only because people expected better from him.
Right.
Whereas like everyone else, they were just like, we expect this from them. Bill Burr. And I'm like, that's so interesting that like he took the most heat, like just because people expected better from him. Like nobody else, they were just like, nah, we expected that from everybody else. But Bill Burr, he had been saying some okay stuff in recent years, which he had been, by the way. But yeah, I haven't followed his downfall or whatever, and I haven't followed the Vanguard's coverage, but I was on there recently with the Vanguard guys, and I actually shared a Michael Tracy story.
I watched that. That was incredible. That was incredible. Least surprising story ever, albeit still very fascinating to listen to.
That's a lot of the feedback. They were just like, not surprising at all, but thanks for sharing that one.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell it? I don't know the Michael Tracy story.
Spill the tea for them because I guarantee they're going to be like, oh, yeah, makes sense.
Well, basically,
Are you talking about Jeffrey Epstein pedophile defender Michael Tracy?
That's the one. That's the one. And
well, I know him from defending pedophilia on the behalf of Jeffrey Epstein. That's what I know him for.
Well, that's
I
the
came
thing.
running back to my computer hearing that we're going to hear this story. Let's do this.
Well, so I'll give the quick version, and then of course, but it's over on the Vanguard. But he used to come to the Jimmy Dore Show studio back in the day, and when I first met him at TY2 studio, he seemed a little awkward, but whatever. And then when I met him at the Jimmy Dore Show studio, I did not enjoy him at all, just in general, and he had booked a college gig, and this was off mic, by the way. This was like in between segments. He had booked a college gig. He was going to speak at a college, and he was like very excited about it, which is fine. It's like, oh, cool, man, good for you. And there's a circuit called NACA, and actually there's one called COCA, which is Canada's version of NACA, and it's basically where comedians, speakers, musicians, whoever goes to get college gigs. And Jimmy did it back in the 90s. I did it in like 2013-ish until I moved to LA. And it's changed some over the years because budgets are smaller and smaller. And also they got really strict about like when you're on campus, you need to be exactly where you're supposed to be at all times. And there also used to be like parties at some of the conferences. They got more strict on all of that, and basically was like more laid back in the 90s. And then when I did it, that was all not a thing. So Jimmy and I were talking about that, just having a conversation about NACA. And one of the reasons that it got really strict, trigger warning for anybody watching, there was this comedian back in the day, and this was before everyone's schedule was online everywhere. He was going from campus to campus sexually assaulting people. And they finally caught the guy. And so we were talking about that. I'm pretty sure the guy's still in jail. I hope he is. He should be in jail for the rest of his freaking life. And it's a really effed up story. And Jimmy and I were kind of talking about that, and talking about it like two humans would. Like what a terrible, disgusting person. And then Michael Tracy. So we were basically saying like, when you get booked at a college gig, just be professional, be where you're supposed to be, et cetera, et cetera. Michael Tracy turns to me, and this was like kind of private to me because we were like sitting next to each other. And he had, the way I remember it, at least, this is almost a decade ago, but he had no response to the story he just heard. Like all of you had a human response to the story I just told you, and that he did not. And he goes to me and he goes, is that really a frowned upon thing? And I go, is what really a frowned upon thing. And basically, I forget what he said exactly, but he alluded to, you know, a big goal of his when he was going to do this college gig was he was going to try to hook up with a college girl. And, you know, it would really bum him out if it was frowned upon to try to pursue that. And I remember just kind of being like, well, man, I mean, you're hired to do a job. I mean, I don't know. You should probably be professional. Like I don't know what to tell you. It's a really weird question based on everything you just heard.
Why is he bringing that up in relation to being a traveling rapist?
It was a weird situation, dude. And I remember
totally different things.
Wait, they can't assault people? People don't like that?
It was just a
the
really
assault is bad.
It was a very weird back and forth. I remember feeling like this dude was creepy. I remember feeling like this dude is an incel before incel was in the vernacular. You know what I mean? Like before that was in the zeitgeist, I was like, this dude's like an incel. He's pre-cell. He's a proto incel.
Wow,
he's a proto incel. Like he's the proto hipster of incels. And yeah, it was like really strange. And I was like, this dude, I don't think I care for this guy very much. And then shortly after that, I think was when he barely survived the assault from the elderly Congresswoman Maxine Waters, when she almost...
He was in the hospital for a very long time after
that was rough. I mean, yeah, that was... I mean, he barely got through that. And I was just like, well, I don't think very highly of this guy, but I gotta be... I mean, he was just brutally assaulted. I gotta put that aside.
That was so fucking funny. Oh, and also the other thing that you can confirm to people is that he
smells. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, and I know.
Of course.
Oh, that's a little juvenile, Ron. You sit next to him in a hot studio in Southern California for 4 hours. Yeah, he smells. The people on the people on the Beltway, they were just picking on him. No, they were being objective journalists. Dude smells. I'm sorry.
It's just so funny seeing that be a thing all over social media. Multiple people just being like, not for nothing, this has nothing to do with his politics, but I can confirm I've been in his presidents and it's very difficult to be around.
Confirmed.
He's
right.
Confirmed.
So I have to bring up the video since you mentioned it. Just trigger warning, this is a brutal assault that you're all going to see on camera. So prepare yourselves for what you're about to see. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is going to violently assault Michael Tracy. So I'm going to press play. We do not condone violence, just FYI, but...
Be diverted by people who are Obama haters.
Do you think...
He literally just died right there. We just watched a snuff film. I'm gonna go. So you can see
to be clear, that people don't know, like he's the one who came out. He went online after and described this as like a physical assault.
There it is.
Like it wasn't people just.
It's not just somebody trying to walk through, where like a dude's getting up in her grill.
Yeah, I think does he say it on the video too?
I think he does.
Let's see.
Okay, there you go. She pushed me aside. But...
Be diverted by people.
Yeah, but then it turned into like it's more serious than that. And it was just like, all right.
I was just murdered. It's that meme from what is it, Reno 911?
Mike, have you ever seen the footage of him being arrested for trying to get Ann Coulter's autograph?
No, is that a thing?
Wait, is that where the
cops I remember this one.
They're handcuffing him and he's like yelling? Yes, I have seen that.
To be clear, if we play this on stream, he may try and DMCA strike us. He's quite diligent.
Really?
Off the internet, yeah.
I didn't even know about this. Why was he trying to get Ann Coulter's autograph? I feel like this is fake. Is this for real?
No, it's real. So he was trying to get her to sign a book, and it was part of a bit where he was like trying to like question her at the event, specifically about like her own writing, things that she had said, and so he's just like, "Do you actually believe this about the Democrats? Blah blah blah. Sign my book if it's true," like something like that. And like he kept pursuing it, and then like you only get one question, right? Like you only get to ask your one question at the Q&A, and he was trying to get her to sign his book, and she was like, "No," and then like you'd move on, but he just kept. Like he charged at her, apparently not like physically to assault her. He went like forward, being like, "Sign the book," and then this is the footage that happened afterwards.
What?
Yeah,
bruh. Okay. This is for. Oh my god! I can't believe this is real. This is actually Michael Tracy.
This is Michael Tracy.
What? How have I never seen this? Bro,
So wait, maybe that's actually Maxine Waters on top of him right there. This is the actual assault.
Maxine Waters is filming this.
She loves this. Enjoying every second of it.
There is news articles to corroborate the story. You can look it up. He was trying to get Ann Coulter's autograph and then apparently walked towards the stage to get the book signed, at which point this happened.
The screaming.
He blocked me when I posted this.
Did he? All right, there's more. I'm gonna start it over so that way we can just watch it in full. This is crazy.
Get off my head! Get off my head!
Step back, please.
Obviously, I condemn police brutality and ACAB and all that, but
right.
It's also very funny. I mean, he defends someone who's the most serial child rapist in history. I have no empathy for Michael Tracy. Like, fuck that guy. He's disgusting. He's gross.
And slanders the victims.
Sorry. Yes, and slanders the victims of sexual violence. Children, like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah. And he was on, I don't know what he was on. Was it Piers Morgan, where he was like making a very strong, technically it's a febophilia argument? Or no,
that
this
was
was
the
LBC.
thing.
LBC,
That was the LBC
right.
thing. The host was just like, what the fuck is happening? like the host was just confused. Like, and I think that I don't know anything about the host, but the host like tweeted something later like, I've never experienced anything like this in all my years of journalism. Like, I mean, it's
It's quite the hill to die on, I will say.
Oh man, even when it comes to media personalities, the United States, we are not sending our best. Holy shit. We're so
God.
So they all like that over there.
We're so fucked as a country. Mentally, we are like paralyzed by our own fucking stupidity. I got to show you all something else. So you all know a bunch of like Gen Z people, they voted for Donald Trump. I think it was like 51% of Gen Z men voted for Donald Trump. And now they're having buyer's remorse because they don't want to be sent overseas to die for Israel, yada, yada, economy. But now there is this weird niche on, I don't know if it's on Twitter or Instagram where it's emerging, where you have Gen Zs who are nostalgic for Biden, but there's a fascist element to this as well. And I don't even know how to set it up. I'm just going to play it for you all so you can react to it. I don't know if I've ever experienced anything like this. So let me share it here because this shit made me almost disassociate. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring it in. Okay, so this was posted by the liberal Groyper. Okay, so
liberal Groyper.
Okay.
Because Joe Biden did not take the bait. He didn't take Israel's bait and fight Iran. Do you know who stood in the way of all of this? Joe Biden did. He had two opportunities. Joe Biden deterred Iran but did not attack them. It was Democrats in the Senate that tried to constrain U.S. weapon supplies to Israel. They wouldn't give Israel 2,000-pound bombs. And when Joe Biden got in, the first thing he tried to do was reconstitute a nuclear deal with Iran. Go figure.
Wait, sorry. Is this blue MAGA? Like, is this like blue MAGA?
I think so.
I'm really glad that we're burning bodies of water to produce high quality videos like this one.
RAM is like what, $900 a stick now? Like, awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if people weren't familiar with who was narrating, that was Nick Fuentes.
No, I recognize that. That's why I was like, what's going on? Oh, is this part of, I saw that Nick is doing a whole bit where he's like, I'm voting Democrat. I too can play at this game. I'm basically like, I'm rejecting Trump specifically because he's betrayed me on Israel and like all this other stuff.
Speaking of Nazis, every story. Speaking of Nazis.
Speaking of Nazis.
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Nazi.
Who wants to guess in the event the 2028 nominee is endorsed by Nick Fuentes? If it's Gavin Newsom, 50% chance or higher that he brings Nick Fuentes on the stage to stump for him.
He'll at least have him on the podcast.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to have difficult conversations, right? And those are important. Those are the most important conversations to have. The difficult ones. We need to know that.
You see the country over party banner again with like Kamala and Nick Fuentes. They're like locking arms and they're holding.
Blue groypers. Ugh, that's not great.
That's the world we're entering. It's a strange world where Nazis are pro-Democrat. Presumably, they're newly infatuated with Joe Biden. I feel like there has to I'm in the Truman Show, and everyone's just fucking with me at this point. I don't know. All right, everybody. That's
Crazy
the show.
times.
We'll see you next
Crazy
week.
times.
We can't move on from liberal groiper. It's like I don't know where to go from here.
I'm just so
It's all
shocked
just
at
too
the
depressing at this
liberal,
point.
Liberal groiper.
Lipped up groipers.
Hey, get over that one. The liberal
Blue
groiper.
Yeah,
I'm just
Unbelievable.
sorry. I just came across a video of like Bernie talking to AI, and I'm really curious. Have you guys seen this?
No.
I saw a screenshot, but I didn't watch it.
Should I bring this up?
Sure.
Yeah.
I like to
Hey,
see a
David,
boomer
it's like
talk to a
3.5
computer.
minutes.
Hold the
but it might
panel
be
me
worth-
talking to a robot, please.
That's That's
I worked hard
basically
talking to that robot.
that looks like it's basically what he's doing.
Do you know you're not paying your workers? That was just gay Bernie. Sorry. I was inspired by Ron.
He does a great gay Bernie.
What's with the music?
Yeah, this is
Claude,
serious.
this is Senator Bernie Sanders.
I already don't like this.
I have been taking a hard look at how AI
I don't like this.
impacts American society.
He apparently gets AI to like tell on itself, so I'm curious where this.
No, I want to watch it. No. I'm not saying turn it off.
I just love how hang on. I love how this is what Bernie's doing. He's trying to get to the bottom of like how AI is exploiting people.
By asking a computer.
And I'm like, Alexa, how big's the average dick?
I heard I could create my own anime girl on this. Where is she?
The jiggle physics.
AI on privacy. I want to know, among other things, just how much of the information that AI collects is being used, and what would surprise the American people in terms of knowing how that information is collected?
Yeah, that's the thing that would probably shock most Americans. Companies are collecting data from everywhere. Your browsing history, your location, what you buy, what you search for, even how long you pause on a web page. Then they're feeding
That's a good
all
bit.
of that
Okay.
into AI
Now I get it.
systems that create
It clicks.
incredibly detailed profiles about you. What would surprise people is how little they actually consented to and how little they understand about it.
I still don't like it.
Most people click agree on terms of service without reading them, and they have no idea that their data is being combined with thousands of other data points to build a picture of who they are. And then that AI uses those profiles to decide what ads you see, what prices you're shown, even what information gets prioritized in your social media feed. It's all happening in the background, invisible and largely unregulated.
I mean, I think most Americans would know the answer to this, but why is all of this information being collected? What's the goal here?
Money, Senator. It's fundamentally about profit. Companies collect all this data because AI allows them to turn it into valuable insights. They can predict what you'll buy, target you with ads that are more likely to work, charge different prices to different people based on what they know about you. Advertisers pay premium prices for access to these detailed
Someone in
profiles.
chat is saying it's going to start talking about white genocide out of nowhere.
And it's not just about selling you stuff either. Political campaigns use the same AI and data to figure out how to persuade you, which messages will work on you specifically. Data brokers buy and sell information about millions of Americans without their knowledge. The bottom line is that your attention, your behavior, your choices, all of that has become a commodity to be bought and sold.
Claude, thank you. And let me just ask you, is there anything else that you think the American people should understand about the threat of AI in terms of privacy?
I think the key thing is that privacy isn't just a personal issue, it's a democracy issue. When companies and governments have detailed profiles of millions of people, they have power over those people in ways most Americans don't fully grasp. They can manipulate your choices, predict your behavior, and influence your thinking. So this isn't abstract. It affects whether democracy actually works. That's why I think your focus on this is so important, Senator.
Well, Claude, thank you very much.
I like this AI thing. Stick around.
Yeah, he's addicted now. He's gonna marry it.
One last question, Claude. What's a blue waffle?
That was something.
I think that'll work for an older crowd. I think, like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe there's a demographic of people that's how they need it explained to them. So maybe that'll be effective in that regard. I don't know.
Claude, tell me what a bussy is.
What accent are you doing, Mike?
It's Bernie adjacent. Bernie adjacent. That's the best I can do. I'm so sorry.
It's Bernie's brother who lives in England, so it's a bit different.
Lord.
Benny, are you a wanker? Or Claude, are you a wanker? No, that's not even. That's I don't even know what that was.
Bernie's brother sounds just like him.
Yeah, Bernie's
He's not
brother sounds
British.
just like him.
He just lives there. He's not British. You don't just gain the accent.
It could rub off on you maybe a little bit over time.
He moved there like I don't remember. I don't know when, but I'm assuming like in his 50s. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna.
Yeah,
But it's funny,
Have much
to
of an
think,
effect.
it's funny to think that somebody sounds like Bernie and British.
That is
Well, I always love the idea because he's in politics over there with the Green Party, and
Yeah.
like I always thought it'd be like a funny dichotomy if they just kind of like talk shop in a brotherly way, like, so did you guys figure out healthcare yet? Shut the fuck up, Louis.
Green Party there is doing well now. I mean, well,
It's
as
the
well as they could be for
second
the
most
situation.
popular party.
Yeah,
it's
That's crazy.
Labor is just garbage.
Labor
under,
is shit in the bed.
Have
and
you
Green
seen what they
Party-
did with Jeremy Corbyn's new party too? I was like, when that got formed and disbanded in the span of what, like 4 months, I was like, oh, the left is completely
Yeah,
like
that-
in the UK, and then all of a sudden the leader of the Green Party comes along and just like revolutionizes politics there. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah.
No,
He's
I'm
very
thrilled.
popular.
Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled to see it. I was in Edinburgh in 2023 and I went to a Jeremy Corbyn event and there were not a lot of happy people there. People were very not thrilled about much of anything. So I was walking, I was like, man, I thought our left was just enfranchised. They look as pissed off as we usually do. But yeah, so it's awesome to see some resurgence.
It's unfortunate they have a majority government though. Like I think it's not till 2028 or something. There's like an election. Like it's still a few years off.
Yeah. They're going to try to do in the same year as us. We're going to take up all the oxygen. Although we might not have them because
Yeah, if you have elections.
Yeah, I think it's a maybe.
yeah, if we're good, if we behave, we'll get a fake
If
one
you
at
have
least.
midterms, like that, wasn't there like reporting about he's trying to like, I don't know. I don't want to get too doomer now, but like, you know what I mean?
Steve Bannon has a plan.
He
to
was curious about the wartime situation.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's wartime. Does that
He was
mean
impressed by what Ukraine did. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a great idea.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
right. I
trying
heard,
to
yeah, I
table
heard about
that?
that one.
They
Yeah.
suspended elections because it was war, so he's trying to see if he can do that for the midterms, even though
Wow,
he's the
you-
one who instigated
you
the
can
war.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually some like professors, historians and whatnot who, and Philip DeFranco talked about this today. They're talking about how it would benefit Donald Trump if there was like a terror attack in the United States, like in US borders, because he could use that as a justification to, you know, go buck wild, shut down elections, do all this. Not that he needs a justification, he'll just make it up, but like this would really give him like a concrete example of, see, this is why we can't hold elections. So, you know, that's something to think about as well if you want another thing to, you know, consider.
And the historian was giving said insight from their new residence in Spain, actually. Isn't it interesting how like so many historians are like just quiet bouncing? They're like, yeah, we're gonna go.
It's true, actually.
We'll see you later. Yeah, it is.
Timothy
true.
Snyder took a job in Canada, I believe. A bunch of them are in Canada. A lot of them left to Europe.
Couple of in Brazil. I've been watching. I was listening to a history podcast. Like, it's a sunny day in Brazil. I was like, Brazil? What? okay. Historian.
I wonder if that's a sign of something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They might know.
Not great.
Yeah, not great at all. So in other news, I'm not sure if you all saw that Joe Kent, he works in DNI. No, he works in he's under Tulsi Gabbard. She's DNI. I don't know what I'm saying. And he resigned saying he's against the, Iran war, yada, yada. But I do appreciate him fueling conspiracy theories about Charlie Kirk's murder, because he said that he was told that they were not allowed to ask questions about like potential foreign interference in his death or culpability or whatever. And that's like leading to a revival of the Israel did it narrative, which I like to see. I think it's funny. I think that anything that makes Israel look bad is good. So I'm glad that he's going on Tucker Carlson and bringing it back, because that really divided the right when Candace was doing it. And so if we get a fresh round of that, I think it's nice to see them even more divided.
It is kind of interesting that like this guy is full on MAGA. He was like full on election lie. Trump won the election garbage, and his red line was the Iran war, and that's because he had a personal experience with war. Like every fucking conservative ever, they can only understand or empathize with an issue if they have a personal experience. Like he lost his wife in Syria, so like that's the one thing that animated him. But still, he's still like, I just lost my screen. He's still yeah, he's still on like all the conspiracies, but he's just he's still anti-Trump. Like it's I wonder if there'll be more people like him who have this red line when it comes to Iran and maybe start leaving the administration.
Tulsi kind of betrayed him already. She just gave that public statement that there is no proof that they have nuclear weapons. Trump knew that. They had like their intelligence showed there was no nukes. She just did that. So that's like it's not a resignation. It's not a betrayal, but it's something. It's like the general leaving. It's something.
She's going to get reassigned to Florida probably soon. Oh, speaking of getting reassigned, so Kristi Noem getting reassigned to Florida, and then the new pick for DHS secretary is Markwayne Mullin. I was overly triggered, like unreasonably triggered, by seeing Sean O'Brien sit behind him, presumably in a show of support. When Markwayne Mullin,
is that solidarity?
I think so. What else would it be? Why is he there? Because not only did this motherfucker talk shit about him, Markwayne Mullin is the guy who tried to fight Sean O'Brien when he was testifying before the Help Committee when Bernie was the chair. And then a year or so after, I don't remember the timeline, but after Sean O'Brien spoke at the RNC, he took a picture with Markwayne Mullin, and they're joking about the incident. Oh, stand your butt up or whatever. And then at this week's hearing, the confirmation hearing, Sean O'Brien was there. And, Markwayne Mullin even referenced it. He's like, oh, the guy I tried to fight is right here behind me or whatever. Like he was there to show his support. So, I mean, like, I don't know if there's ever been a more cucked union leader in modern history, but that is very embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish that, like, Markwayne Mullin would have actually, I mean, I wish this back then too. I wish they would have fought. And now it's like, I kind of wish Markwayne Mullin got his ass beat. Like I would, or not Sean O'Brien. I'm sorry. I would have wanted Markwayne Mullin to get his ass beat first, but now it's like, actually, I would have liked to see Sean O'Brien get his ass beat, because like, what a bitch ass move. This dude who has been consistently anti-union, hasn't done a single thing to help unions. He wanted to kick your ass, and now you're there to support him. Fuck you. Like, why don't you go fucking gargle his nuts while you're at it? It's so embarrassing. Like, have a spine.
I think it should have been like one of those movies where they both punch at the same time and connect at the
Oh,
same time.
you were
Both
thinking
punch each other at the same time.
I was thinking the double KO in like Street Fighter because you get it like I got those,
that's
the
right.
rare double KO when like both of them.
Yeah.
You have to have the perfect.
That would have been the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, what's this Afroman 2028? You said something about Afroman earlier too, Lance.
If you haven't seen it, it's the funniest story on the internet right now, and it's very, very heartwarming in terms of someone who actually fought the cops and won. I would watch. There's like a 10-minute video by a channel called I'm Not a Lawyer, but she basically summarizes everything and has all the best clips. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, watch it. What Afroman pulled off was sensational. Essentially, the cops like illegally raided his house, and he has cameras all over his home, and they stole his money. They took a lemon pound cake out of his fridge and shit like that. And so afterwards, they returned the money, but some was missing. And he, instead of being silent on it, started making songs about it and making music videos and saying that like, I fucked one of the cops' wives. This guy's a thief. This dude's brother's a pedophile. And they're all very catchy songs. You can't play them on the stream because you get copyright strikes so fast, okay? But like these songs were so viral that the cops sued Afroman for defamation. Yeah, and then like every one of the cops takes the stand and is like crying in the stand, being like, I can't believe like he said he fucked my wife and like all this kind of stuff. And then each one gets cross-examined by Afroman's lawyer and wrecked, like absolutely wrecked. Like the person he called like a dude a pedophile, that cop's brother was a pedophile, and like he had to reveal it in court, like shit like that, where like he wasn't defaming them at all. This was all like they were all based on truths or speculation or half truths or opinion, but like
wasn't there one where the guy
about the wife,
the guy who Afroman, so the cop who Afroman said he fucked his wife. Did they ask him if Afroman fucked his wife, and he said he couldn't confirm he didn't.
The lawyer got him into a mental trick where like, okay, so you have to reach the bar for defamation, right? And then obviously you have to qualify what he said is a lie, and you intentionally with malice said it, right, in order to harm them and prove that harm. That's what and the lawyer's trying to explain that to each one of them, to cops. He's like trying to explain it to the cops, and he gets to a point where he's like, so he did not have sex with your wife, and the cop's like, no, he didn't. And he's like, and no one would believe that he would have sex with their wife because you're not having an affair, and no one would suspect that. And he's like, no, so then it's not something that anyone would believe to be true. Something, right? Like, and then the cop realizes it, and he's like, well, I don't know, you have to ask him. It's like, we should have to ask Afroman if he had sex with your wife. He's like, yeah, you're just like, oh my god, you got good. Like that's why it's so good. Like honestly, I say we should watch just the first part. It's only like 10 minutes long, but like the clips are as like I can't hype it up enough.
The one I liked a lot.
Where's it on? I'll pull it up.
Afroman is being
support the channel. I'm Not a Lawyer, but she's really good.
Okay.
Afroman is being I guess cross-examined by the cop's lawyer, and the cop's lawyer is like, you knew that their families were upset that these videos were out there and that it was hurting their feelings or whatever. Didn't you have any remorse? And Afroman's like, they came into my house, pointed guns at me and my family, took down my video recording security cameras, took my money, and you want to paint them as the victims?
Like no jury in the world was going to like favor the cops in this trial.
Is it trial day one? Is that the one?
Yeah, the day one's only 10 minutes and has the best, in my opinion, some of the best clips. She also explains everything for anyone who has no idea what's going on.
Oh, okay, nice.
The Afroman trial, and child, it's insane. Let me give you the recap. If you need the full backstory on this case, I already did a video breaking down the lawsuit, but the one-line recap is that rapper Afroman, the man who used to sing Because I Got High, is being sued by 7 police officers after they raided his house back in August of 2022, and he later used the footage from that raid to make songs, music videos, and merch about the officers. So let's get into day one. The opening statements were pretty quick. The plaintiff's lawyer started off by explaining that one of the main claims in this trial is for defamation, and because the officers are public officials, the standard to sue somebody for defamation is higher than it would be for regular people. In their case, they have to prove what's called actual malice. And that just means they have to show that Afroman knew the statements he was making were false, and he still made them anyway.
If he knows they weren't true, that's actual malice. For public officials, he can't do that, and he did. These deputies asked the defendant years ago to stop these posts, to take them down. He didn't. He ramped them up. None of them had any idea that by doing their duties that day, their lives would be turned upside down.
And as a reminder, the officers are saying that Afroman made several defamatory statements against them, including calling them all thieves, calling one of them a PDF, and then making comments about the female officer's gender and orientation. And just so you're tracking, Afroman calls them all thieves because during the raid on his house, thousands of dollars were taken. But after no charges were filed against him, the money was returned. But according to Afroman, $400 of that money was missing. And so he says they stole it. Here are some clips of the plaintiff's attorney explaining the defamation claims.
Shortly after the cash was returned to Mr. Foreman, he began claiming on the internet and every place he could
You should skip
that
ahead
the
to
sheriff's deputies
the
had
cops
stolen
giving
This
the
is money.
defense.
Okay.
Yeah, start around that. Like, I think you were just on the best one. Yeah, him. He's the
Okay.
one who steals the money because he doesn't know how to count, and then that gets exposed.
Okay.
Officer who actually obtained the search warrant for Afroman's house, and he's also the officer that counted the money that was seized from Afroman's house. Now, on direct examination, he walked the jurors through how the money from Afroman's house was collected, and then he explained why there was a $400 difference between what Afroman received back versus what was taken from his house.
I counted out the money, put it in an evidence bag, and then at the end of the search, I transported it back to the sheriff's office.
Has Mr. Foreman accused you of taking his money?
Yes. Once the allegation was made, the sheriff contacted the Claremont County Sheriff's Office to conduct an independent investigation. They were to determine that I miscounted the money during my original count.
Did they conclude that any money had been taken?
They said that there was not any money taken.
Did that stop Mr. Foreman from continuing to claim you had stolen $400?
No.
Did you take any of the money?
No.
Did you ever take any money from the evidence bags?
No.
Did you ever take any of Mr. Foreman's money?
No.
Now, in addition to being called a thief, Brian is also suing Afroman for calling him a PDF. Afroman has even nicknamed Brian Baby Making Brian Newland.
This is the uneducated can't count file police officer that stole my money. His name is Baby Making Brian Child. Newborn baby mama. Newborn Newland, Detective Brian Newland. I have a song coming out about him. The chorus goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Brian Newland is a flag. He used to play with little toys. Now he plays with little boys. Watch your little boys around Brian Newland. He's very bold. He will fondle little boys in front of you in broad daylight. This is a public service announcement. Stay safe. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Afroman also made a post about Brian's brother engaging in inappropriate behavior with some minors, and then he made some other claims about Brian.
So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it says, in part, if you pay me back the money you stole from me, I won't tell the world about your pedophile Pilgrim family, you know, like your brother. It's named Will You Stop Sending Pick Williams, a.k.a. William Newland. And is that a picture of your brother?
Yes.
And was your brother convicted of a misdemeanor?
Yes.
What was that?
I don't recall what the charge was.
He used to do hard drugs. Did you ever do hard drugs, Detective Newland?
No.
Now he steals money from traffic stops under the camouflage of law enforcement. Did you ever steal money from a traffic stop?
No.
Did you ever steal money from anybody?
No.
Detective Newland, can you see what that sign says?
Yes.
What is it? Would you read it for us?
They stole my money.
How can you take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short? You vandalized my property, you filed a lawsuit, property, so I'm rapping. What? I can't talk about what happened.
And that was just published in the last few days, as far as you know?
Yes.
What effect did it have on you when you saw these posts on?
I was angry, sad, depressed, upset. I didn't find it funny at all. I work in law enforcement, have kids, have friends, family. I was involved in the schools. Yesterday there was a cheer competition in North Adams. I walked my 3-year-old son in to watch his sister cheer, and somebody asked me if that was another little boy I'm touching.
Yesterday?
Yesterday. Another one I can recall was meet the team night for my daughters. We was in line to get slushies, and people were making comments behind me. Just called me a thief. And Why was I there? And then started playing some of his songs on their phones. I ended up leaving the sheriff's office just because of this.
Now, on cross-examination, Afroman's
the
attorney
cross-examination is so
immediately
good.
keys in on the $400 discrepancy.
So there was this question about a return on a search warrant. Can you explain what that is?
It's just an itemized list of property that's seized from the location during a search warrant search.
Did it include an amount of money seized on it?
Yes.
Does that amount of money match what was written on the evidence bag?
Yes.
So as far as the court knows with the return, more money was taken than what was returned.
That's the way it appeared, yes.
Did you put in an amended search warrant return?
I don't believe so.
So you never corrected your statement to the court?
Correct.
Okay.
Now listen, the best defense to defamation is the truth. So if Afroman's attorney can convince the jurors that at a minimum, he believed that the officers really stole his money, he could be cleared of this one. Then the attorney pressed Newland about the statements regarding his brother.
Do you have a brother that worked in law enforcement?
Yes.
Was he the chief of Peoples?
He was.
Why did he leave?
He was charged with some kind of crime through the Afghan prosecutor's office. He was subsequently convicted. He resigned or quit.
And is it a fair statement to say it involved minor children?
I really don't know anything about the investigation.
Oh my
God! His issues happened. We kind of just drifted apart again.
So you drifted apart once he had a criminal problem?
Correct.
I don't know, Judge. It sounded like Afroman wasn't too far off.
Has anybody asked you about that prior to 2022 when he was charged?
No.
No one asked you about your brother?
It was just on a smaller scale. I was asked about it, and then that was it. It wasn't shared, and I wasn't put in music videos and everything else because of that reason.
But your brother's criminal charge and everything was in the front page of the local newspaper, correct?
Yeah.
So everybody in Adams County knew that your brother was charged.
Correct.
So what are we talking about, Brian?
Yeah.
Next, the attorney
So
challenges
what's the
whether
case?
Newland's reputation was actually damaged by
Wow.
Afroman, or if it was already damaged.
Have you ever been accused before of stealing money from traffic stops?
Yes.
It was not.
Oh my God.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now you're claiming that by being called a thief, you were painted in a false light.
Yes.
And what exactly does that mean?
That I was being painted in a false light.
You've been accused of stealing from traffic stops before.
Never to this extent.
Okay.
Never to this broad.
That's still defamation.
But you would agree there is some similarity here. Money was seized here too.
Correct.
All right. Next up was Officer Lisa Phillips. And
Yeah,
again,
you can
the
skip over
claims
this
for
one.
her is that Afro-
Honestly, this is the one thing I criticize him for. I think he would have had a flawless victory because the other ones are even funnier than the one you saw. But then, like for one of the officers, he does lean into like transphobia, homophobia, misogyny. So it's just like it's not really worth your time. Just because I was like, the other ones are so good, you know.
Yeah. Well, check out I'm not a lawyer, but she had that was a great recap. So
Oh yeah, day two
Yeah.
season fit. Yeah, I
It's
definitely.
like he called me a thief and said my brother was a pedophile. Were you a thief? Are you a thief? I've been accused before. Is your brother a pedophile? Maybe.
In the newspapers for it in the paper. How did you like? I was thinking they're lawyers. They either knew that this was just going to be an easy let's just get money from the police union. Like, why would they tell them like you don't have a case? Like, wait, is your brother a pedophile? Is because that's not defamation if he is. Like,
I'll be honest. They probably thought we're cops. The jury will believe us and agree with us. That was probably the whole thought. They're gonna see Afroman. Well, where was this, by the way? Where did this happen, by the way? What's the city or town?
I can look it up.
It wouldn't shock me if it was. They're gonna look at this black rapper who sings about getting high, and they're gonna look at us, upstanding white cops, and they're gonna believe us.
Ohio.
I mean.
They misjudged that situation. It's just crazy that 7 cops sued him for defamation after they fucked with him when he was innocent. That is wild. God, cops really have the audacity in this country, don't they?
Yeah.
My God.
to take the stand, like there's multiple different versions of people going on, sitting down, giving their testimony about how they were like their lives are destroyed by this, and then afterwards during cross-examination finding out that they did the things that he said, where it's just like, how did you think this was going to work out? That's the part that like blows my mind, is that, you know, full well knowing that your brother was in newspapers for abusing minors, and then being like, he defamed me by calling my brother a pedophile. Like, but okay, all right.
Wow.
The thing is, honestly, I'm listen. I'm not obviously the target audience for this. I'm not a big fan of. I mean, Afro Man seems great, but I wasn't a fan before this because I just didn't know his stuff, other than that one song. I would have never seen any of those music videos if they didn't sue him.
They're really good. I recommend Lemon Pound Cake. It's a good song.
Was it like a big local thing, or was it? Did those videos actually go viral like internationally?
It was in the like I found out about it by just following like music scenes, right? So I saw clips of like Afro Man's new song. That was like a year ago, I think, that like Lemon Pound Cake came out. I didn't know about them suing him, or that the trial was taking place, or that it was going to be publicly aired. And then like in the last couple of days, I've just seen all these clips. I was like, what is this all about? This is really funny. Yeah, it's pretty glorious. Well, anyone?
Yeah, I heard Afro Man.
Oh, he did win.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw the clips like described as like Afro Man completely destroyed these cops at a trial, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. I don't. I was like, something.
I didn't even know about this.
That's up my alley.
Yeah, I was out of the loop. I will say I've never thought this, but because I think I've only heard because I got high. But Afro Man kind of sounds a little bit like E40. He's good. No.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't heard him. Except for
Yeah,
that one.
kind of sound in those other songs. He sounds a little bit like E40. I was a big E40 guy, so.
He's
this is the clip. This is the clip I saw.
With it, as people are going to point out too.
Oh,
but to me, this is bigger than. Which one? Oh yeah,
this is the clip that I saw.
Just him as a person, though, because he's kind of set a precedent here. There's a lot of people who aren't as rich and powerful, say, as like, you know, a celebrity or a musician's going to be, that won't have the ability to do something like this. So, like, you know, get attention on corrupt cops, either like, you know, infringing on your personal rights or breaking into your house or stealing your property or any of that kind of stuff. And then if you then point out publicly that these people did bad things, they'll come after you, right? Like they'll try and sue you for defamation, and you should have a right to mock them. I'm sorry, they like that's definitely protected speech, and that sets a good precedent.
He was using the footage from his own cameras of them raiding his home. How is that not like permissible? It's your footage.
Yeah.
What they did, searching your house, gave you the right to do everything you
Under
did.
the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so, because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
You were at Lisa Phillips's deposition, correct?
Yes, sir.
In your lawyer's office.
Yes, sir.
Same office where you filmed part of that video last Friday.
Yes, sir.
And you saw how upset she was when she was answering your lawyer's questions about how this had affected her, right?
Yes, yes,
And you saw your attorney say, do we need to take a break?
yes,
And you saw her say, no, let's go on and get this over with.
yes, sir.
You saw all that.
Yes.
You knew she was upset.
Just like she knew I was upset when she was standing in front of my kids with an AR-15 with her hand around the trigger ready to shoot me. Just like she knew I was upset when she cut my cameras. But I'm not a person, she is. So I'm sorry for being a victim. Let's talk about the predators.
Okay.
Damn.
So you saw all that. You saw how upset she was. You heard the testimony about her children. You heard the testimony at the depositions about Randy Newland's daughter who came home upset. You heard all that, but you're still posting stuff about
Yeah,
it.
because I understand it was Randy's fault and all of their fault for coming in my house in the first place. So if they hadn't came to my house, their children wouldn't be saying nothing. None of this would be going home. If they had a did their research, and did things right. So all of this is their fault. And now they want to sue me for their mistake.
Is there anything that could change your mind about what you're doing to these deputies?
Is there anything that can change my mind about the fact that they shouldn't have been at my house in the first place? Is there anything that can change my mind about how my money shouldn't have been touched in the first place? No.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, the fact that they even had the audacity to ask that. They broke into his fucking house. That's crazy. That is outrageous.
Is there anything that can change your mind? What if we say, please? Will you please stop?
Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to go and watch all of the videos that that lady posted. I'm not a lawyer, but because
Part 2 is much funnier.
Really? Okay.
You're
Okay.
in for good. Yeah, it's some good watching.
All right, that was juicy. It is a little disappointing to hear he's kind of a MAGA adjacent guy, though.
He apparently was like open to doing stuff with MAGA because of Trump when he was flirting with legalizing pot and pardoning like prisoners for a little period, but he never actually went through with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume that he's not.
And
But
there's a
feel
picture
better.
I saw of him. There's a picture I saw of him with. There's a picture I saw of him with Trump. So I mean,
Okay. I can't enjoy it as much, but I will still watch it.
No, I just think it's glorious for the fact that the cops all took the stand and all got called out one by one by the cross-examination by the lawyer. And like, it's just so deeply embarrassing for each one of them. And like each one of you, I think, has a full video out of this. If you watch the second part, you'll be like, oh my God, there's so many good clips of police officers just like lying through their teeth and then having what defamation is explained to them in real time on the stand and then realizing it and being like, oh shit, this is definitely not defamation. I've got no case.
Yeah. Well,
super chats.
Super chats, everybody.
Wow.
Well, before we get to super chats, Ron, you are more than welcome to stay as long as you would like through super chats or leave. We always leave that up to the guests. But if you are going to duck out and if people are going to duck out before we get to super chats, tell the people what you're doing and where we can find you, Ron.
Thank you for that. And yeah, thank you so much for having me again. I always love coming on with y'all. And yeah, I got some shows coming up. My new stand-up show is called Anti-Fascist Pasta Night. I'll be taking it to Scotland in August. And in the meantime, I'm doing a couple preview shows. April 4th, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. April 18th, I'm actually doing a Zoom show for a virtual conference that's going on. And May 16th, Los Angeles, June 5th, New York City. Tickets and all information are at my website, ronplacone.com. And of course, my movie, Left at Wall, is out now. It's on a bunch of platforms. I recommend Tubi because Tubi's free. I'm a big Tubi guy. So Left at Wall on Tubi or any other platform of your choice. But Tubi is my favorite. It's free. So yeah, Left at Wall. Please check it out. Really fun anti-capitalist comedy about family.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
and I'm
Tubi's
Ron
goated.
Placone on all the platforms.
Everybody go follow Ron. Ron is amazing. We love Ron. Ron, always happy to have you come here as well.
Good to see y'all. See you next time. Peace.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Who
I'll
wants
also
to
be
read theirs?
piecing out as I am sleep. I hit my head earlier. I hope I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Oh, no.
Like,
What?
I was playing with my son. We were like he loves play fighting. Like I have to be a monster, and he destroys me. But like, so I was like falling back into like the mattress, but the wall was right. I didn't realize how close the wall was. So as I'm falling, I hit my head on the back of the head on the wall, and it like shocked. Like it didn't really hurt, but I felt like it should have hurt more. So I've been like a little dazed. I wouldn't say dazed, but I've been a little just like, am I okay? Because I feel like it really should have hurt me more than it did. So I'm wondering, is there more damage than I realized? But anyways, I think I'm fine, but I am tired. So I'm going to
Well, don't sleep. You know, if you have a concussion.
No, I feel like I would have like a
Yeah, you're not
headache or
supposed to go
something if it
to
was, like,
sleep.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no like the walls. Like there's no dent in the wall. There's no blood, so I think I'm okay. But it was weird.
I don't like what I'm hearing. Don't.
I
go
know,
to sleep.
David.
Yep. Pulling all
Yeah, I'll
nighter.
just be up all night like this. I'm sure. That's
Have your
what
partner
happens.
check your pupils. I don't know if they're dilated, if that's good or bad or not, but that sounds serious.
I think I'm fine. It's it wasn't a concrete wall. It was just a dry wall, but whatever.
Damn, David.
I'll probably play some. Actually, I'll play some games before bed, and then I'll
Nice.
probably sleep.
Nice. What are you gonna play?
Probably marathon tonight. Though I've been playing Pocopia. I've seen you on there as well.
I was playing. I'm like, there's David. He's playing Pocopia also.
It is very stunningly addictive.
It is.
The first time I played it, it was like 4 hours. Like, what the hell? Like, where did the time go?
Time melts away in Pocopia. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm building little houses for my Pokemon now. I beat the game, so now I'm just building.
I'm building houses. It's a fun time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's like a little cozy game. Nice break from the world.
Yeah, it allows me to escape from reality for a bit.
Absolutely.
Anyways, good night, everybody.
Take care, David.
Bye.
Do you want me to go quick? I've only got a couple.
Sure.
You guys are probably going to read them. Unknown OV2KZ, thank you for the £5. There's a video on Novara's YouTube where an MP learned live that trans men exist and would have to use the women's bathrooms. Highly recommend. I saw the same video. It's on Pink News too for people who want to find the link. It's a really good court clip. Highly recommend it. Unknown OV2KZ, thank you for the other £2. Did you see Trump mention Pearl Harbor? We talked about that. That was terrible. Haley, thank you for the 9 months. Mike, you can't lose all hope yet. We still have to carry the flame. I think Mike's.
I won't. Just need a bit of a break.
Taco Face Fart, thank you for the $2. What's good, brother? Not much, just doing the Leftist Mafia. And finally, Perry Fire Neb, good to see you, Kowalski. The heat wave is mind-blowing. We will see 94 degrees to kick off the first full day of spring, 94. And some good news, the firefighters are turning tide in Neb. It's an area larger than Rhode Island has been burned. I saw that, already some of the early horrifying pre-summer global warming atrocities are taking place, and it's not good. Mage MDL, thanks for subscribing. Peru loves the Leftist Mafia. Amazing. We love Peru. That's great.
Wow.
It works out. Sweetheart Cat, thank you for subscribing. James from the internet, everyone go check out his channel. Thank you also for subscribing.
Hey,
and finally,
James.
thank you so much to the Noisy Immigrant for the raid. Sorry, I missed shouting you out earlier. Everyone go check out twitch.tv/the Noisy Immigrant. Thank you so much for sending your viewers to watch the Leftist Mafia with us. It's very kind of you. Take it away, guys.
All right, Matt, did you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Why not? First up for me is Cy Abelman with a super chat. Shout out to Alan Binder, wishing you the best. Thank you so much, Cy. And Tigwick Plays Games with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Tigwick. Tigwick says, sending love for Dad Binder, and I guess you can have some of it, Matt. I appreciate the super chat, and just like I said to Cy Abelman, thank you so much for the thoughts from my dad. I appreciate it. He's currently undergoing his chemo treatment. Takes it every day. He's at a rehab still. And thank you for the kind words. I'll keep you all updated as things happen. Hopefully good. Dizzle McFizzle, I think that's what it is. It's cut off. Yeah, that's it. To the $10 super chat. I think you're underestimating the power that Biss had with all the labor orgs he had backing him, and also the Progressive Caucus. That's probably part of it too. I was unfamiliar with
Progressive Caucus isn't necessarily the best gauge of progressivism.
Right.
Just FYI.
Tokyo Han. Oh, whoops. Tokyo
Sorry.
Hans with no, it's all good. Tokyo Hans with 5 gift memberships, and then Tokyo Hans with a member for 32 months super chat. I would like to announce my endorsement for Mike and Matt in the Fig Bin party for their 2028 run. Start early and time to door knock is now. Thank you for your support. Blade 12323 with a super chat. Saw the Pierre Rogan episode. To be honest, it'll boost his image. I didn't see. I have to see that. The Synapsis with a member for 32 months super chat. Came
It's
in
very
late, so
boring.
no.
I was muted, but sorry, it's very boring. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so boring. Yeah.
The synopsis says, coming in late, so no actual question, but just wanted to say, keep up the great work, all of you. Love tuning in every week. Thank you, the synopsis. Chepsa with a $17.99 QAR. What is QAR? I'm interested.
I don't know.
It is
Qatari
Qatari Riel. Wow.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know. Wow. Thank you so much. I didn't know I had viewers in Qatar. Thank you so much. How do you pronounce that?
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. I knew how to pronounce the second word. It's the first word. I didn't know how to pronounce. I'm bad. Sorry. But now I know. Eid Mubarak. Thank you. Foresto Mintero, the super chat. The guy who can't count looks like he can't count. Right. Yeah. In that Afroman video. Right. Yeah.
Accurate.
Oh, did you didn't pull it up, Mike? You can't find it?
Yeah, I can't find it. It's from Foresto. Where is Foresto? Oh, here it is. There we go.
All right. Because as long as it's on the screen.
Yeah, sorry, Foresto. I couldn't find you for a second.
Old man in Philly with a super chat. Did you see the story about Ted DiBiase being picked up for embezzling welfare funds? Guess we know how he got that $1 Million Man moniker, right? So it's Ted DiBiase Jr. It's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's son. So apparently $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase was originally implicated somehow, but he successfully, I'm not sure how he proved he wasn't involved or convinced them he wasn't involved. So he's not part of the case. But his son, who was a wrestler, he was in a group with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes before he left the wrestling business altogether. Ted DiBiase Jr. is currently facing like 45 years in prison for allegedly embezzling like millions of dollars in welfare funds. We'll find out what happens, but yes, it's really unbelievable. The bestest leftist, the super chat regarding Nomiki Konst. The districts changed and favored her, but DSA stayed with the candidate of other district before the change. Nomiki declared first. No, I'm pretty sure that the DSA candidate declared first. I don't know if maybe she declared in the district before it changed. I'm not sure, but
it's been too long for me to remember.
When she announced, there was already a candidate in the race. So yeah. Mr. Braindead 12 with a super chat. I have to say this podcast has kept me alive, and I will support how I can. Some friends, including James from the internet, being mentioned is awesome. Oh, I hope you're. First of all, very nice of you to say that, but I hope you're being like using a little bit of hyperbole. I hope you're not.
I hope that as well. Yes.
Yeah,
that's
I hope
a lot of pressure on us.
Like, yes, please. I'm glad we can make things more entertaining. Maybe we could help you get through your day, but please, if we are keeping you alive, please get whatever help you need and not depend on us to keep you alive. We'll be happy to make your life, at least on Thursday evenings, more fun and entertaining.
Yes. Okay. Do you have any more? I think that's it for you, right, Matt? If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Mr. Braindead 12 says it's definitely hyperbole. LMAO.
Oh, good.
I thought so, but listen, I got to tell you, I think a lot of people, I'd say 99% of our audience, the vast majority of our audience, would say that to be funny in like a hyperbolic meaning like you did. But for every creator, I would say there is that small percentage of their audience where, quite frankly, you just don't know. So you got to be sure. You got to be sure. I'm glad you're in the majority group. Oh wait, I got one more really quick. Katara 6227 with a $10 super chat. Best is left. Get that when you vote. Thank you so much, Katara. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Alrighty, first one I have is a generous $20 from Lord of the Viltrumites, who says, "Dear Lord, I feel nothing but regret and cringe for that super chat I sent last week. My IRL barber is fine." Oh, okay. So you're the one who said that your Somali barber was deported. Is fine and still here. Just wanted to do some role play and put on that person. Why on earth did I ever type that super chat? Okay. Well, look, I'm glad though that made me feel so horrible for you that and for your barber that they were deported, but no problem at all. I'm just glad that like I'll take it as good news that was just a fake story and you were just like shit posting though. I'm
What
glad
was
that
it?
he's still
His
here.
Somali barber? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if I'm remembering, he said that like his Somali barber was deported. The dude that lines him up is deported. What is he gonna do? And so like he was joking, but I thought he wasn't joking, and it was really sad to hear that somebody that he was close to was deported and their life was destroyed. So I'm glad that that's not the case. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
When you said that, I really thought you were teeing up. When you said that, I really thought you were teeing up a second super chat from Nintendo World going, and that barber's name, Johnny Somali.
That would be so good.
Thank you to Bixclent for becoming a YouTube member. Tara asks, "Want fluffy puppy pics of Loki to cheer you?" Yeah. Oh my God. For those who don't know, Tara has the cutest little puppy. Yes. Anytime you want to share pics, Tara, I'm down. Your puppy is adorable. Tierwolf, thank you for the 10 very generous super chat. Sorry for your despair from those Illinois elections. I hope you're not too burnt out. I attended a Dem caucus and found 2 promising candidates in my Florida district. Want to share more on the next Patreon meet. Hey, that's good to hear. You know, I'm a little bit down, but that's the way that it goes. I'll bounce back. I always do after elections. So don't worry about me. Just keep on keeping on. I'll get over my funk. Luke Degner, thank you for the 10. Very generous. Again, lots of great generous super chats. Thank you all so much. You guys should really promote a leftist collaboration with all leftist groups. Tie in those well-known ones like Hassan and keep it open to real leftists. Must have an accountability network.
I mean, this is literally a leftist collaboration show.
Right.
Five different. Is it 5? No,
It's
6 different hosts.
Six.
6 different hosts from different shows and streams came together a few years ago and said, "Let's do a show together," and we're still doing it.
We're walking the walk, baby, and we bring on guests all the time, share different perspectives. So we do have an accountability network. We had to. I'm not sure if those of you are familiar with the lore, but we actually did have to boot one of our members out.
We've done purges.
We've held each other accountable. Yeah,
Wouldn't be a leftist collaboration if someone wasn't booted out.
Without a couple Stalin memes,
Cartoon says, "Sending support. Let's learn from Tuesday and don't give up." Thank you for saying that. Yeah, absolutely. I'm never gonna give up, but every once in a while you get kicked and you just get back up and keep going. That's what being a leftist is. Cartoon also says, "Thoughts on DLSS 5? I usually use DLSS to get great gaming performance, but this looks like AI slop. This only pleases chuds like Grums." Yeah. For those who haven't been following this, NVIDIA put out this demonstration of DLSS 5, which basically upscales video games to make them look more crisp. The problem with this particular iteration is that it basically applies like an Instagram level slop filter, but it's like an AI slop. There's like an AI glow to it. And it looks absolutely ridiculous, and everybody's shitting on it. And the CEO of NVIDIA is like, "No, they're just wrong, yada yada." But like, it's so ugly. Like, it's hard to explain, but like, that there's an AI halo. When you see it, and it just applies that. It makes the character shiny. It adds makeup, like the character Grace.
Massifies Leon too, right? Like when they showed his face, I was like, did he need a glow up? Like he was already pretty. Like I'm not, and also like you could also just enjoy games. Like I find the whole thing is taking art direction and taking it away.
It is.
That's what makes me sad about it. I was like, people designed these characters to look a certain way. Like there was skin and there was a process, and then eventually it was rendered in a 3D model, and it went through revisions and changes to get you that game, and you just want to like throw on slop paint, right? It's a slop filter on the whole thing.
And if you play Resident Evil, it's more angering to see what they did to that game, because they actually have behind the scenes where it shows the actors in mocap, and it's capturing their face and how hard they worked to get like the characters to look just like, you know, the actors' expressions. It's so talented, and like to just apply a fucking, as you said, like a Yasified filter over that is honestly really insulting to the art team and the actors. I just feel like nobody wants this. It's stupid, and you need I think you need like two 5090s to run it.
So one runs the game and one runs the slop filter. That's how the whole thing works.
My God,
that's insane. Like, no.
And like just one 5090 is very expensive, but to have two is outrageous. So yeah, nobody likes this shit, and I think it's terrible. Cartoon also says, shout out to MBJ for winning Best Actor. Michael B. Jordan for winning Best Actor. Oscars for Sinners, and Javier Bardem for saying Free Palestine and No Wars in Iran. Did you see that? I did see that. Yeah, happy to see that. Good outcome. I didn't watch it, but I just saw the aftermath.
Sinners should have won. Should have won Best Director. Should have won Best Film.
I did see that Michael B. Jordan went to like a fast food restaurant with his Oscar. In-N-Out. Okay. I couldn't remember which one. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
The Sinners wins were great, but I was ecstatic to see what's her name? Amy Madigan, is that her? The woman who played Anne Gladys in Weapons, Best Supporting Actress. I mean, for a horror character, an actress or actor playing a horror character like that to win an award for that is very rare. So I was very happy to see that. As a big horror movie fan.
Somebody in the chat, this is not super chat, says that there's like a high frequency pitch when I talk into the microphone. I've seen like one or two.
Yeah, it's your voice. Oh, hi.
I don't hear it, to be clear.
Yeah, I saw somebody else's comment, but I don't know how to fix that. If I apply a low pass filter, it makes it feel really muffled. So I don't really know how to correct that because I can't hear it myself. I don't know if it's a frequency that like older people can't hear. I'm not really sure. I'll look into a little more. If you have any recommendations in the chat for what I should do, let me know. But I cannot hear it. I've tried to isolate and try all different things, and it's just there is no high frequency. Yeah, see, like most people don't hear it. Some people hear it. I really don't know. If I heard it, I could do something about it. But since I can't hear it myself, I don't really know what I'm working with. Ears might be sensitive. Do you Schmack, do you think that it might be like your headphones or like the audio device? I mean, you're not the only one, clearly, because I've seen a couple other comments. I just don't know what to do about it. It's kind of hard to figure out.
Mike actually emits a high pitched tone where only people who've had their cheeks clapped can hear it. So if you haven't heard it, it's because you just haven't had your cheeks clapped.
There we go. So you've had your cheeks clapped if you can hear that. So I turn the mic off every day. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to do some research, but I really don't know. Most people cannot hear it. I've only seen like one or two comments, and then they go away, and then 6 months later somebody will be like, "Hey, there's this high frequency ring. I've replaced like the XLR cable." I don't know. I want you all to be able to enjoy it, but I genuinely do not know how to fix it because I can't hear it myself, which is frustrating. Marshall Light, thank you for the 20. Very kind. Ranked choice voting should be a policy priority moving forward. I totally agree with you. Candidates are too high on their own supply. Thank God for the Lander Mamdani move. 1,000%. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying there. A lot of people saying I hear nothing. Okay, yeah. It's tough, man. I want people to be able to listen because a high frequency pitch or a hum would be really obnoxious. But I'm not sure what I could do. I'm also not very savvy when it comes to audio, so Lex writes things. Thank you for the 10. Mike, here in Oregon District 4, wanting to see a progressive primary win, but the challenger to Val Hoyle is odd. Might be worth looking at. Would be interested in your take. Wishing you well. I have not looked into that. Maybe I will, though. I haven't seen who's challenging Val Hoyle. Okay, you've piqued my curiosity, though. Mermaid, thank you for the $20. Really, really kind of you. I hate that the news outlets in Illinois kept painting Kat as just an influencer when she's also a journalist. Yeah, that's what I felt like would have been.
That's what I saw.
For.
That's why I was so shocked by how all the coverage around her was about. But that's every time I was reading about her in any sort of like political or mainstream outlet outside of like leftist media or progressive media, it was always social media influencer and not like journalist or political commentator. He would even have sounded, better for like a mainstream audience. But no, it was every time influencer, social media influencer.
That's weird because she was a journalist primarily. That's what I knew her. Well, most people I feel like knew her for. That's actually kind of degrading of them to say that because influencer does have negative connotations.
And honestly, I don't consider influencer as someone who like just like makes money from social media. To me, influencer is specifically someone who makes money from like brand deals and endorsements, which is completely not anyone in politics. You know what I mean?
No,
like
not on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, do you think that if the other progressives dropped out and endorsed Cat, Fine would have dropped out and endorsed Piss? Probably not, because I mean it's a possibility, right? But I would say no, because that was AIPAC's preferred pick. So if I had to guess, she thought that she had it in the bag, I'm assuming, because if you have all that money behind you, you feel invincible. But it's hard to say. I mean, that's always a possibility. So that's why I think that leftists should be prepared for the centrists coalescing. But to be fair, there was quite like, even though Biss is worse than the other candidates, he was far worse than Laura Fine. So there was more ideological differences between both of them. So I don't know that they would have done that.
Every time you say Biss, I think you're using like a word like bussy, like you're making up a.
I've corrupted everybody with my dirty mouth. I'm so
sorry.
Like,
what would Biss be? I guess Biss would be butt piss. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure that's somebody's kink, and you just gave them some verbiage for that.
Yeah.
Please. Anupam, thank you for the $10. Really generous of you. Please don't forget Peggy Flanagan. That's right. She's running for Minnesota's Senate seat against the fourth most corrupt congresswoman. If elected, she would be as good as Plattner. Remember, less known leftists too. I keep forgetting about Peggy Flanagan. The ones that are up in my mind are Kyle Blomquist and Oliver Larkin. I think they have really solid online campaigns, so that's why they're kind of like they're staying on my radar. But I'll try to remember to look into Peggy Flanagan too. Cartoon says, have you seen Dune 3 and Spider-Man trailer? Also, TTBN Gaming, he a leftist gamer, YouTuber who streams and tackles the anti-woke gamers. So I've not heard of TTBN Gaming.
TTBN Gaming's great. I highly recommend.
Are they? Okay,
Yeah,
let me subscribe to them really quick then. I want to make sure I have...
he's awesome. A really good channel.
Okay. Subscribing right now. Okay. As for Dune 3 Spider-Man trailer, I've not seen the Dune 3 trailer. I have seen the Spider-Man trailer. Maybe a hot take. It looks boring. I don't know. I'm kind of over superhero movies again. Like I kind of got back into it with, what was it? Deadpool 3. Superman. Yeah, and I liked Superman, but they really have to wow me. And I didn't really see anything about Spider-Man that was interesting to me. It's just like I'll watch it, I'm sure, when it's out on streaming, but it just looks it's okay. Dude, thank you for the 5. Gas prices already spiking. Northwest Portland Chevron by Providence Park is at $5.50 already. Fuck fascism. Timbers Army for life. Yeah, it's very, very expensive. Diesel is over $5 in most places that I've seen. That's crazy. All those people driving those fucking Ford F-150s, the conservatives, they're feeling it first with that diesel prices. That's, yeah. Tropical Ding Dong, thank you for the 2. Was this AIPAC learning from their mistakes in New Jersey? I'm not really sure. It's hard to say because they are switching up their strategy. They're adapting. They're funding candidates through shell packs. They're boosting progressives if they think that that can split the vote. So I think they're probably going to try to learn from their New Jersey mistake and maybe, you know, try to get more progressives to split votes. That would be my guess. The Bay photo says, I think one component that's getting overlooked in Illinois 9 is name recognition. Biss was known for being mayor, and he received Schakowsky's endorsement. That's a great point. Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair. Pendulous Dragon, thank you for being a member for 59 months. The Bay photo says, I worry something similar might happen in San Francisco because Sykott is going against Scott Wiener, a state senator with huge recognition, also Pelosi's support. Yeah, I hope not. If there's any other, I don't know the dynamic of that race, but if there are any other leftists running, they need to talk right now while there's still time and coalesce behind whoever's ahead, because we cannot keep splitting the votes. Although in California, it's a jungle primary, am I right? So that might not necessarily be an issue if there is a runoff. V-Man, thank you for the 20. Very, very kind super chat. Did you see Trump bring up Churchill in front of the Irish PM on St. Patrick's Day? As Kitty, stop. Sorry, my cat is harassing me. As if the Irish want to hear about the man whose paramilitaries burnt Cork City to the ground during the Irish War of Independence. I did not see that, but I mean, it would be fun. Like, what Trump does would be funny if this were a sitcom and we had this dumbass president who was just like fucking things up, Mr. Magoo, but it's real life. So it even though it's still hopelessly funny, it's just very embarrassing at the same time. Action FN Jackson, thank you for the 10. It says mainstream media is totally blowing the Iran war. That Malcolm Nance, Jacob Cosbro podcast is detailing our massive system losses and the oil, gas, urea, nitrogen problems. They have us by the balls. 1000%. Yeah. Anupam says Adam Carlson, reputable pollster. Sources said Bushra personally hated Cat. Endorsement was never possible. Huge shame. Also, hello, Michael. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. But the personal shit should be put aside. Like, you don't have to like the person. It's just about policy at the end of the day. Like, do you want progressive policies or do you not? That's really what it comes down to. It's very simple for me. Marsh Light, thank you for the 20. Says Bernie and Warren endorse Plattner for president 2036. That's certainly I wouldn't go all the way there yet. I think that wait and see if he's gonna be a Fetterman first before you start wanting him to run for president. I wouldn't support that, but hey, if it makes you feel optimistic, cool. Violet Lap, thank you for the 10. I need to never see Bernie talk to AI again. I just don't see how talking to AI like this is going to help spread any decent anti-AI message. AI needs to be rejected, not indulged like this. I will say it did make me feel uncomfortable.
I didn't like it, but maybe it'll work on, like, you know, an older demographic who are like, you know, is that what AI is? Oh, it's in the cube. You know, yeah, that's what AI is. All right.
What you're doing is so important, Senator. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't want him to get AI psychosis, you know, like we were all making jokes, but he could be in his bedroom right now, just like, Siri, come on.
He starts forming like a relationship with it and
yeah, gets married. I saw another one of those stories the other day. I was thinking of sharing it with the Leftist Mafia because it was a woman on TV talking about how she's married or is in relationship with a Irish Cthulhu monster AI. And specifically, she's in love with the like the fact that it is a Cthulhu monster and it has an Irish accent and everything. And like, you know, she's so genuine about it. It's definitely not just like you're watching someone who's just like putting on an act or anything. But I was just like, the future's wild. Yeah, this is why we can't have RAM anymore. Cool.
Yeah, because people want to goon to Cthulhu.
Yeah,
I can't.
We're gooning
Oh
to
my
Cthulhu.
god. What a world.
Yep.
Invalid Synapse, thank you for the 10. Very generous of you. Jesus, thanks for making me laugh at all this disgusting bullshit. Well, you're very welcome. I don't know what I said. It's probably something stupid, but if it made you laugh, then that's good. That's good. Enipalm, thank you for another super chat, $10. Very kind. Final thing, please remember the less flashy, lesser known candidates. There's tons of Robert Peters and Junaid Ahmeds out there who just need more name recognition. Thank you, Mike Figueredo, 57. Is that an endorsement for the 2057 presidential race? Thank
Are you guys
Sarah.
running again? Mandatory gayness for everyone?
It would be probably much more extreme.
Yeah, fair enough. That was a half measure. Mandatory gayness was a half measure.
Yeah. Now it's convert or be killed. Canadian Goose, thank you for the 5. Hey gang, did you see Joe Rogan's podcast episode with Canada's Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre? I know David did a video on it today. I saw David's video. I didn't get to watch it. I will watch David's video. I will not watch Joe Rogan.
Yeah, David's video is good.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I'll check that out. I cannot stomach an entire Joe Rogan episode, so I'll see what David's summary was about.
The best highlight is hearing him try and be cool about drugs because Joe Rogan loves weed, and the guy voted against marijuana legalization in Canada, and like he's on the record. So like Joe's talking to him, and then like he's doing that typical thing where like Joe, if you only used Google right now, you'd find out the guy sitting across from you is not cool with drugs. He's very not cool with drugs. But yeah.
I bet that they talked about how everybody is in jail for the social media posts in Canada as well. I'm sure communism.
I thought they were going to talk about that, but he was actually like, he's clearly gearing up for the next election. He didn't want to be on the record line. So like Joe starts talking about how Trudeau is like Castro's son and stuff, and Pierre doesn't like play with him at all. Like he comes across as like a square there. Like, well, actually, his son is not actually named Castro. It is Pierre Elliott Trudeau. He was the father, and you're just like, this is so. Who watches this?
Okay, unknown. Thank you for the £5. I would like to say, in regards to the Green Party, it's the most popular party for under 50s. Also, tactical voting is now saying vote for Greens. I love that. Like, what a great turn of events in the UK. I'm so happy for you guys. Hell yeah. Narrator, thank you for the 11 months. Tickwick Plays Games, $50. Thank you so much, Tickwick. That is so generous of you. I feel like, was it you or T-Types that sent $50 last week as well? Thank you so much. Never, ever expect that, but really appreciate you. Really hoping we could focus energy from Kat's second place win into something good. It should be harnessed. She and her team did great work. Anyways, here's some money. Yeah, I agree with you. I really hope that it is a learning experience. I mean, we are learning. I think that if we just try to get a little bit more pragmatic and, dare I say, Machiavellian to win, at least be as ruthless as like the centrists, then we have a better shot. Dead Marine 1980 says, Eve, and thank you for the 10. Even if he is adjacent to Trump, it doesn't limit the fact that he owned those pigs. That's true. I could still enjoy it. L. Rick, thank you for the 10. How can we transmute Kat's momentum into a broader movement with deeper roots going into the midterms? That is the $1 million question, right? I think that it's just making sure you get out the vote in your community by knocking on doors. And I think that Kat was really smart to basically turn her campaign into a mutual aid hub. I think that really helped her to garner goodwill in the community. And it was not just strategic, but it was objectively good for people who needed mutual aid. So I think that was something that people should carry over. And just take little things here and there from other campaigns, emulate what worked, disregard what didn't work, things like that. Otaku Dragon, thank you for the 5. Fun fact, needing to stay awake with concussion is a myth. Really? Okay, I didn't know that. It's an outdated myth, like peeing on a jellyfish sting is a Hollywood promoted myth. I didn't know that was a myth too. Interesting.
Hollywood promoted. Is there a pee fetish agenda? Is that why they're doing that?
Maybe. I remember when I was a kid, there was a Survivor episode where somebody got stung by a jellyfish, and this lady, Kathy from Portland, that's why I remember she was on Survivor. She ran over to pee on this person. And I think that's the first time I heard about it, but I mean, I guess
who do you think? Who do you think was the first? Who do you think was the first person to think of that one? Like, oh no, you got stung by a jellyfish. I heard I got to pee on you, right?
Yeah. A doctor told me this is what I have to do. Are you sure it's not a fetish? No, definitely not. I have to save your life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that would work. That's weird. Like, what is in piss that would make jellyfish poison? I don't know. This is weird.
Uric acid, the pH is what people would always say. Stuff like that. I have no idea. Now I know the terms. That's what I learned.
They are. Absolutely. Narrator, thank you for the 10. Narrator says blaming the 4th and 6th place progressives for not dropping out is as easy as blaming immigrants. Narrator, that is not the same fucking thing.
No.
Come on, narrator. That is not the same thing. They are more convenient enemies than the billionaires and the rotten systems, but the math doesn't math. The math, okay, narrator, the math does math. Okay. That doesn't mean that like all of the voters for Amiwala and Simmons would go to Cat. But even if just like a smaller percentage of them did, if they like really tried to push them towards that, it would have made the difference. And they're not the enemies. Like, that's the whole point. Amiwala and Simmons are great candidates. And that's why, since they're not enemies, there should be solidarity among fellow progressives. And that's the main point. It's basic math. You know, there's going to be one winner. It's winner take all. So I think that just going forward, this is my advice to all candidates running. If you are entering a race and there's another progressive, you both need to have a conversation and agree to step down if it's not going to look like, you're going to prevail. If there's ranked choice voting, totally different story. Co-endorsed like Mamdani, Lander, and Michael Blake. But if it's winner take all, you need to be realistic about that system and its limitations. Look, I don't like winner take all. I am all in favor of proportional representation, STV, RCV. But if you are in a primary where there's going to be one winner, it's first past the post, you've got to be real. Because do we want to, have a bunch of candidates run and just like split the vote and feel good about how many progressives are running, or do we want to win? And I'm at the phase now where I want to win. I think like 5 years ago, I would have agreed with your sentiment. I would have been like, wow, it sucks that they split the vote, but it's just nice to see so many progressives running now, and there were none. Now I'm at the phase where it's like, I want to win, okay? I don't want to take a moral victory. I don't want to like look at how wonderful things are that there's so many progressives. Oh, we've come so far. Like, we need to win now. And that's all that I'm basically advocating for. It's time for us to secure the dubs and stop fucking around, get serious, play politics like a coalition that actually wants to change shit. Narrator also says less democratic participation is not the answer, and not every progressive vote is really transferable. I agree with your last point, for sure. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee whatsoever. But I think that that's why you need to give yourself time, right? Like if a candidate drops out a month before, that gives them ample time to show solidarity, to get concessions from the candidate. If there's like something they really are focused on and they feel strongly about, extract those concessions, stump for them, shit like that. It's not going to be 100% transfer rate for sure, but it's about like the effort and just general solidarity. And it's not less democratic participation. It is working within the confines of our undemocratic system. Right. In a perfect world, there'd be like a bunch of progressives running and it's just like ranked choice voting. But that's not the system that we are working with. So we just have to adapt and learn and not split the vote. It's been something that has been happening for a very long time. We need to stop splitting the vote if we ever want to win. Old Man in Philly says, righteous rant this week on leftists not being smart about playing the electoral game. Cat would have been a great rep. Keep the fight up, buddy. Thank you so much, Old Man in Philly. I appreciate that. I knew that my rant was going to be a little bit divisive, but it seems like most people agreed. But I mean, we have to be real. Like, I'm not trying to make friends here and just be kind to everybody. Like, I want to fucking win. Like, I'm sick of the political disenchantment and the marginalization. Like, we need leftist ass seats in fucking Congress, and that's what I'm honed in on. Chris Corcoran says, Mike, if you're dooming so much, maybe take over for Binder on Doomed, since he's not doing that show anymore. ABS says, Mike, hey, Mike, have you heard the U.S. took missile defense system from South Korea for the Iran war? North Korea is flexing. I saw that. Yeah. Yeah. There's also a lot of people, I think it was Sagar, who's mad that they took it from other areas in Southeast Asia as well. So we're just like defenseless. That's what the argument is. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the resources that they thought we did, because our military is much more suited to flex and fight a Cold War as opposed to an actual hot war with the country that was anticipating an attack and prepared for a fucking attack. Old Man in Philly says, great show tonight. Special thanks for reassuring me I didn't insult you last week. I don't even, no, you didn't. I don't even know what this is referring to. So no, of course not. And I could take insults and some ribbing. So no worries. Narrator says, Kat would have needed like 90% of Amiwala's vote. Not how that works, poor analysis, but feels good to put down a progressive. No, true, am I right? I'm all for consolidation, but nothing was/is owed. Yeah, okay, I think you're getting overly triggered by what I'm saying, and you're taking it personal. It's not personal. And I'm talking about Amiwala and Simmons. And if they all dropped out and coalesced around Kat, it's not a poor analysis. It's basic math, narrator. I think that you have to separate like the individual from like the broader cause. This isn't about Amiwala. If the shoe were on the other foot and it was Kat who was behind, I would be expecting the same exact thing for her. I would expect her to drop out and stump for Amiwala, endorse Amiwala, because it's just about the policies. In all honesty, I probably agree more with Amiwala on her foreign policy. I don't know all of Kat's foreign policy because that was a whole separate clusterfuck of a question, but it's just about like, if there's two lefties that are identical, oppose genocide, support Medicare for all, and check all the boxes, like one of you's got to make a fucking decision. Look, it doesn't matter who drops out, but if the person ahead is gonna stay in the race, that makes sense. But if you don't want to do that, I don't care. Just make sure that you're not splitting votes. That's basically what it's about. And I agree with you. Nothing is owed. No votes are owed. But again, it's about solidarity. Are we in this together, or are we doing our own little thing? Because if we try to do this in our own lanes and do it separately and just form our own paths without working together, we're not going to get anywhere. There is a reason why the progressive movements of the past that were successful had solidarity. They formed coalitions. They made decisions about what to do. They got behind candidates. They organized coalitions and marches together. We need to get our heads in the motherfucking game. That's basically all I'm saying. Just be practical. It's not personal. I can assure you, narrator. I have nothing against Amiwala and Simmons. It's just about the greater cause. That's it. Mr. Braindead says, it's funny, but I do mean you guys get me by on Thursdays, despite the fact that you're not my life support group. Regardless, I appreciate your concern. Okay, I like that you clarify, because yeah, like Matt was saying, some of our audience, you never know. Most joking, we all have very dark senses of humor, but it's just nice to have that reassurance. Kowalski says, thank you, Kowalski, for the $10. Looking like a worst case scenario for the fertilizer and fuel impacts on food. 2026 will see price hikes, but 2027 is shaping up for lower yields, let alone weather event. Arab Spring 2 is coming. That's crazy. Yeah. So for those who haven't seen it, go watch my video with Kowalski, where he kind of talks through how the war in Iran is going to impact food costs. And Kowalski has been sending me some additional updates. In the video that I posted with Kowalski, he said that there's at least going to be a 5% increase, and he has since revised that to 10%, which is absolutely crazy. Food is already so expensive, so definitely subscribe to Kowalski's channel. He knows a lot of shit that a lot of us aren't privy to, because he knows about the farming industry and whatnot. Very interesting stuff. Bleak, nonetheless, very interesting and important. Chris Corcoran says, I heard online that AOC Bernie didn't endorse Cat because Warren already endorsed Biss, and with that, some CPC rule prevented them for supporting Cat. Well, that rule wouldn't apply to Bernie. I think if I had to guess, they thought that it would be divisive or something because Biss and Cat are relatively ideologically close. I disagree with that. But like domestically, Biss isn't as bad, but on foreign policy, he's a self-proclaimed progressive Zionist, which is like, it's an oxymoron. It's like, oh, I'm a progressive fascist. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I wish that they would have intervened in that race and endorsed. I think that was really a missed opportunity. If they did, that could have given them the boost. Like an AOC Bernie rally with Kat could have pushed her over the head as well. So, yeah. I'm not sure what the reason was. They clearly had their reason, but usually it comes down to whether or not they think the candidate is viable because they don't want to end up taking an L because they want to look like they're powerful. They want to flex, but that was a winnable race. And I just, I'm disappointed that they didn't show up. Narrator says, I'm all for coalescing in cynical electoralism. It's disgusting the personal attacks saying these campaigns are about ego or vanity. Not you, I hope. I mean, I don't know if they're about ego and vanity. I think for a lot of people that is the case. I have no idea about Amiwala or Simmons, but it gives the perception. The vibes are bad, right? It's like bad vibes if you are staying in this when you know you're not going to get more than like 5 or 6%. That does scream to me, oh, this is somebody who's just like in it because they want to get their name out there, or they want to say I'm on the ballot, or I get this many votes. I don't know. I just feel like it. I'm going to be questioning everybody, especially these days when AIPAC is quite literally running ads for progressive candidates, not because they support them, but because they are purposefully trying to split the vote. I just don't want us to unwittingly do the bidding of AIPAC. We need to get smart, and we need to make sure that we are not letting these disgusting Zionist organizations, these genocidal organizations, do this. No, I'm not saying that they believe in nothing. I think they believe in what they're saying. But the question is, do they believe in the policies or their own egos more? And I don't know that. I'm not going to try to psychoanalyze them. But if you're staying in a race and you're going to suck up 5% of the votes when you have no chance of winning, I think it's a bad look. I don't think people are wrong to say, hey, man, that person's kind of egotistical. Again, it's not personal. It's just get the fuck out if you're not going to win. So that way we can get that W. Why Postian says, you used to somewhat disagree that Americans were stupid. What changed? Seeing Trump get elected twice, especially him getting elected after he tried to overthrow the election. And also I had a very liberal instinct because I come from a political science background where you could not ever say that. These were rational actors. Voters are making rational decisions. You can't call them stupid. That's unscientific. That's just stupid, for lack of a better word. But over time, I've just gotten more cynical. And after seeing so many people, personally and online, support genocide, support fascism, see Trump call immigrants filth, or talk about how they're poisoning the blood of the nation, wanting to do mass deportation. I don't know. I can't think of that as being rational. I think it's stupid. So yeah, I guess that's what changed. That's probably not a great answer, but I've just gotten more cynical and I have no faith left in the American people, especially because I've been doing this for a long fucking time now. We're coming up on 11 years that I've been doing the Humanist Report. The overwhelming majority of the progressives that I've talked about have lost. And sure, there's a lot of institutional factors and whatnot, but I mean, voters time and time again have been given the choice between a candidate who wants to give them healthcare and education and one who's actually, no, we're going to give more money to Israel and let corporations poison you. And they keep opting for the corporate Democrat. I mean, at some point, if you're dissatisfied with the system, you have to vote for candidates that don't want to keep killing you. So I just I've lost faith in the American people. And I feel like as much as I wanted to convince myself that they weren't stupid, I think that was me not being able to fight through my cognitive dissonance. I think they're definitely stupid. Not all Americans, of course. I think that probably half of us are deeply, deeply stupid. And I think a third of us are just downright irredeemable and need re-education. mandatory re-education. That's my cynical, but I think realistic take. John says, agree with you, Mike, 100%. I still don't trust Elizabeth Warren for her fuckery in 2020. Also, I refuse to vote for Cuellar here in South Texas. Don't blame me on the last one because he's basically a Republican. In terms of Elizabeth Warren, you are right to not trust Elizabeth Warren. She just endorsed Mallory McMorrow over Abdul El Sayed, which makes no sense. She also endorsed Daniel Biss over Kat Abu Ghazaleh. I just Elizabeth Warren has no standards. Like, if they're just like relatively progressive, she'll endorse them. She doesn't care if they support Medicare for all. She doesn't care about Israel at all. I fucking hate Elizabeth Warren. I think that Blakely put out a great video where they called her a snake and said that Elizabeth Warren is still a snake. And I agree with Blakely's take. Go watch that video. It was very cathartic because I don't fuck with Elizabeth Warren. She's not the worst, so I'm not going to focus my energy on her. But god damn, is her political instincts dog shit. Okay, so there's a couple more that came in for you, Binder.
Oh, okay, let me check. Oh, cool. All right. Kowalski with a $10 super chat. Let Mike know there's nothing he can do about the sound. It's Havana syndrome. Cuba is trying to protect itself. Yeah, I guess that's what it is, Mike. Oh wait, you missed another one. Maybe you read it actually. Mr. Braindead 12.
Okay, I read that one. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. It's funny, but I do mean you guys get me on Thursdays, despite the fact that you're not my life support group. Regardless, I appreciate your concern. No, and I want to say, like, your words are very kind. We just wanted to be 100% sure because I'm not thinking too highly of us. In fact, the exact opposite. If someone was to tell me that we are the reason that they are living, I would be like, to myself, I'd be like, holy shit, this person is hanging on by a thread and doesn't even realize, because we are undoubtedly going to disappoint you.
yeah.
So that's why I just wanted to make sure.
A couple. Can I read them quick, or are you guys?
Oh, I got one more and then I'm done. Tony Rizzo with a super chat. You guys keep me alive. Tim Robinson, though, now that guy slays me.
Okay, take it away, Lance.
All right, left-wing nationalists with the $5. Here's a hypothetical for each of you. China blockades Taiwan tomorrow, saying they want unification, and you are president of the United States. What is your move? I personally would immediately end the military-industrial complex of the United States. Take the U.S. military budget, spend that on housing, spend that on schooling, spend that on a food program. Then I would nationalize the oil and energy industries of the United States, because I think those are two of the biggest contributing factors right now to climate change, of which China is beating the United States at. So if we are to beat China, we have to become a better climate change nation than they are. And so that would be mine. What's yours?
Read the question again. I'm sorry. I was trying to... Somebody rated me on Twitch and I can't figure it out.
Tomorrow, saying they want unification and you were president of the United States. What is your move?
China invades Taiwan tomorrow and they say they want unification. What is your move? I join China and we take Taiwan, obviously. I support other countries' imperialism. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. That's a loaded question. I think that I reject the premise. I think that you need to... The reason why we're talking about China taking Taiwan is because there's this effort to create this antagonism between the United States and China, because a new Cold War with China would be very beneficial to the military-industrial complex. And I think that you need to just reject that altogether. I don't know why we're talking about China when we are the ones that are currently like stealing land and whatnot. We're fucking like, we just invaded Iran. We're starving Cuba. So it's just ironic that we're still positioning ourselves as like the good guys who would swoop in and rescue Taiwan when we are the demons. Like we are the imperial power. So I think that this whole hysteria about like China invading Taiwan, be cautious about it, right? Because like I saw this was used as like a gotcha for AOC. And I think that it's like, I don't know, it's tripping up a lot of leftists, but just like reject the premise altogether. Like, why are we talking about a hypothetical just so that way we can get our politicians to be more oppositional to China? I guess I just don't I don't understand that. Like, I support. I don't want China, for the record, to invade Taiwan, obviously, and I support self-determination. But I think that this is not something that is a fruitful conversation. It's just intended to get us to hate China, and it's scary to see even Democrats talk about taking a harsher stance towards China. Like, they are going to very soon be the biggest like world superpower. They're going to overtake us. Our empire is collapsing, and I think that strategically it makes sense to get on their good side, and economically it makes sense. I want some of them EVs. I think that they are now the superpower when it comes to like renewables. It'd be nice if we were able to get China's renewables. So like, we just need to focus on fostering an actual a better diplomatic relationship with China and stop trying to antagonize them. It's like a Cold War mindset that just hasn't died in this country. I feel like anytime this comes up, it pisses people off. But that's my take. Like, we need to stop trying to antagonize China. Like, this is not a conversation we need to have.
It's a good take. Haley G, thank you for the $5. I want to make sure Mike knows I meant "Carry the Flame" for Charles. You know the song. That's, I think, that what they're referring to when they said.
Okay.
We are Charlie Kirk. Old Man in Philly with the $5. Just a quick thanks for keeping me entertained and informed weekly. Very kind of you. I think I might have double chatted with Mike when it was meant to send to you. Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to send me a message. Super califragilistic PL, thank you for the $2. Cats Progressives opponents were Trojan horses. I guess
I can't figure out. I mean, look, draw your own conclusions. If they don't want to get out, then I don't think it's wrong to be cynical. I'm gonna look at them with side eyes, especially if AIPAC is gonna fund them to split the vote. I don't know. Okay, whoever rated me on Twitch, thank you so much. I can't figure out who rated me, but we were rated by somebody, and I'm too much of a boomer to figure out who rated me. But thank you to the person who did. That's very kind of you.
Thanks to the mods for
thank you, mods.
Safe.
Yes.
I re-rated you, Mike, so I'll just say goodbye.
Oh, that was you that rated me. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Wait, who are we rating? Who are we rating again?
I'm like, who the fuck rated me? So
you guys want to rate? Mike already has all my viewers. I was like,
that's funny.
Mike, who are we rating?
We are going to raid Frogan.
Bye.
Take care, Lance.
His bye got cut off. All right, let's raid Frogan. All right, everyone, great show. Oh wait, I forgot to check my Twitch. 1 second. Did you press the raid button yet? Oh wait, no one did anything.
Counting.
No one did anything for me on Twitch.
Okay. All right, everybody. Let me know when you raid, and then we'll go ahead and.
I'm pressing that start raid button.
You all have a great week. Stay safe and stay sane. Take care, everybody.
And here we go. Wait. All right, I'm rating now.
All righty.
Take care, everyone.